Bitch cunt. $10 dono, do it.
So okay, so Mr. Jordy, I just first of all, let's just get it at the right. There it is. Why? What the hell? What's going on here, my man? What, $10 for that? $10 to deep throw your mic?
Yeah, that's the easiest $10 I've ever made.
Jordy, how you doing
I
today?
think I might have the wrong mic on.
No, you're good. You're good. How was your day today? What you do today?
Just woke up, had breakfast, had a shower, and now I'm here.
Are you participating in that No Shave November shit?
I got sideburns going.
What the? I just
Slowly.
noticed everything is so cleanly shaved, and then I see that mustache, just that thick ass Brown Town mustache, and then now I just noticed the Austin Power sideburns over here, my man. What the fuck? Where did this come from? Why did you think you're like, you know what? This is the move.
People liked it from my stream. I did it as a bit of a joke, and then it kind of stuck on. I think I'm using my webcam mic though. I need to change this. It probably sounds horrible.
If you want to change your mic, go ahead. You can go right ahead. Go. No, don't let me stress you out. Don't the fucking. No, it's not.
Is it coming through this one now?
Yes, there you go. Yeah. I thought your mic was in the other room. That was the thing. That was on me. I don't shit on people's stuff though. I get it. I get the grind there.
I just built a new computer, so stuff's not set up just yet. But yeah.
Oh no way. When'd you build that?
Last night. No, 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago now.
Damn, Mr. Jordy, you just
Yeah.
so fucking busy. You fucking busy, and then you find the time here. This man, let me preface one thing, all right? This man DMs me mid-show yesterday, all right? I'm mid-interview, and literally, like, I'm an hour in the fucking show, and I panic because I have Chatterino open, and I read your thing. First I thought you wrote in the chat, and I was like, shit, is this guy really right here gonna do this? He's stunning on me. And then I had to think about it. I was like, fuck, I got a lot of stuff to do. But I was like, no. I got, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. And so glad to have you on here, my man. I start this the same way. And I always tell them first impressions. I always tell the guests first impressions. And so clearly the way we met was under very unique circumstances. All right. I'm over here interviewing Mij. I have no idea. All right, Joy. I promise you. Hand to God, like I'm putting my hand up. With all honesty, I don't know who the hell's affiliated with anyone else. I don't. It's just I'm new to this game. I've only been here since January. I've only been streaming since May. So when I'm finding these streamers and we're going along this journey, I'm just moving forward. And so, we get into the part of the segment with Mish about romantic relationships and yada, yada, yada. And the second, because I don't want to press. That's not my prerogative. I don't give a shit. If you don't want to tell, you don't want to tell. If you do, you do. That'd be great. And it just so happens, I don't know if you did this on purpose, Jordy. I don't know if you did this on purpose. The second I was like, all right, I want to know. All right, go ahead, sell it. This man follows me on stream. What a dramatic motherfucker.
Entrance. Had to make an entrance.
Yeah, you made a fucking big entrance, and then she's over here like, yeah, it's Jordyx3, and she said it with like her voice went down, and then I watched you. I was on a Discord call, and I was trying to understand what you're about. Like I was like, who is this guy? What is he made out of? What is his stream about? And I made a bet with some boys that I was in a call with. I was like, all right, if this motherfucker wins at the first game I ever dropped in, I was like, if you win at Modern Warfare, I'll sub. I gotta sub to this guy. And not only did you win, you fucking dominated. Like, it was disgusting how well you performed without even knowing the rules of the bet. And so I was like, all right, I'll be about it. And I hung out a little bit, and I like the vibe. It's very different. I'm familiar with the wholesome side of Twitch, and you, my man, and this is no disrespect. You got your standard. You will fucking roast someone. You have no problem telling it as it is. You do your own shit, and that's your brand, and I can respect that. So, Mr. Jordy,
Yeah.
it is an absolute pleasure to have you here in the studio. But as always, I'm gonna reel it back in. All right. So let's go from the very top. We're gonna talk about your streamer life. All right.
Yeah.
How long have you been on Twitch in general for?
In general, about 6 years.
Yeah.
And streaming for about 4.5.
So in the very beginning, starting 6 years ago, what made you even come on to Twitch?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I think originally it was a bunch of League streams. I was quite into League of Legends back in the day, and I used to watch people like, I think it was like Gosu and a few other League streamers like way back in the day. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I didn't have a Twitch account for like the first year and a half that I made it. I used to just watch offline, and then a year and a half or so later, I made an account, which
Were
is the
you
one that I'm using now.
were you more of a lurker then, if that was the case early on?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I obviously didn't have an account, so I couldn't chat.
Yeah.
So everything was just watching. It's usually just with my friends in TeamSpeak. They'd link a stream and would go watch it, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. Didn't really think
Nice.
much of it back then. It was just kind of another platform like YouTube for watching content.
Sure. So then from there, you said you created your account 6 years ago, but then you started streaming 2 years later, correct?
A year and a half later, yeah.
A year and a half later. So why did you decide to start streaming?
I was playing a game called H1Z1,
Mhm.
and I was addicted to it. And I used to play every day after school and work. And at the time, I just bought a really good computer as well. It's my first like gaming PC that I bought.
Yeah.
And I had also moved into a new place that had really good internet. And I was watching a few of the streamers, like Lyndon and T-Hump, stream it back in the day, and another guy called Stevo. And I was like, hey, I've got good internet now. I've got a good PC. And if I'm playing the game every day, I might as well start streaming it. And then that's kind of where it all began.
So then at what point and what did it take for you to be like, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to make this a bigger thing than just streaming?
Ooh, that didn't happen until like at least a year or so later, or maybe even 2 years later. In the first like 2 years of my stream, it was pretty much just like 5 days a week, and sometimes I'd take 2 days off in a row. I didn't have a schedule, just kind of whenever I wanted to, and whoever showed up showed up. It was just like that. It was nothing really serious. And then when it got serious was when it got serious near the end of H1Z1, which was probably like a year and a half into my Twitch is when it started getting a bit serious. I started getting a lot of views, and I eventually got partnered back in 2017. And then oh god, where was this question even going on? I've lost track.
That's one hell of a shit, dude. You must have taken one hell of a shit to just. That's a fucking.
I feel like I'm going off topic with the
No.
the question.
There's no such thing as a topic in the show. I just listen and I'll riff off of you. But if you want to focus, the question I went with was more of like, at what point did you start taking it seriously? At what point was it that you?
Okay. Yeah, that's what the question was. I started taking it seriously when pretty much I was getting into kind of like the partner zone, where because back in the day you had to have a minimum of 500 viewers before you could apply for Twitch partnership. But they were more lenient to OCE streamers because of the time zones difference and also just the sheer size of us.
Yeah.
And the other guy that I mentioned before, Stevo, had got partnered when he was at about 150 or so viewers. And when I started averaging about 100 or so viewers, playing a bunch of solos and like scrim competitive H1, was kind of when I realized that, maybe I can apply for the partnership and get it, and then maybe make something out of this. I applied 4 times until I got accepted. First one I applied was like 110 average viewers, then it was 120, 130, and I think it was about 150 average viewers is when I finally got accepted. and then the game died, and then a majority of my viewer base left, and I had to move on, and that's when Fortnite came along. And then that was kind of like the next wave, the next big game. Played that for like 2 years, and during that time, probably about a year into it, I started when I switched from H1Z1 to Fortnite. I averaged about like 20 or so viewers. Like I lost a good chunk of my viewership because nobody knew about Fortnite and nobody had seen me play a different game other than H1Z1 before. And then I think it was probably about a year into Fortnite, I started averaging about the same viewers that I used to get on H1Z1 again, except I had kept all of my H1Z1 like loyal people, and then I'd made a bunch of more loyal viewers from Fortnite as well. So I always kind of had a base standard of around like, if even on bad days, it would be like 80 viewers, and then on good days, it would get up to like sometimes 200, 300 viewers for it.
Isn't that stressful though? Because what I'm hearing from you, like your story, your trajectory of streaming, it's like you had this niche, you're playing H1Z1, the game dies. And so tell me where your mind was at when that game was fading away and you realized, oh shit, like one of my biggest things that I really hang my hat on is now not the hottest thing. Was there a panic?
Yeah.
Was there what was the initial emotions that was going through your head?
At the time, I was still working full time when I was playing H1Z1. And then when it dropped off, I was like, okay, I'll just carry on. I'll play a new game and I'll stream a new game. It was always kind of like a side thing that I did. Like I was always more focused on my work because I was doing a carpentry apprenticeship.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
And then it was when it dropped off, it was like, oh, that sucks, but like what can I do? And I just kind of carried on with it. And then working full time, and then Fortnite like picked up. Like my Twitch career is kind of coming like in like waves. Like it's gone up and then it's gone down, it's gone up, because then obviously I could stop playing Fortnite and Fortnite died out a lot, and then I switched to Warzone. And now we're up on Warzone, and then I don't know, who knows, 6 months time Warzone might disappear.
But the thing is this, like of all the people that I've talked to, you're number 34. And of all the people I've talked to, I think you're the only one that I would say is the closest to being like competitive. Like you actually, what you're able to do on H1Z1, on Fortnite, and now on Modern Warfare is pretty impressive in terms of gameplay. Like I remember I said this, and I at first I had to be like, man, this man is on a pedestal. He is too high and mighty on this. You made a statement when I was like, hey man, I want to see a win. I wrote in your chat, I want to see a win. Like that's my thing. I want to see you win. I want to see it. And you're like, it's not about the wins, moms. It's about I want to get more kills. I just want all kills, because the thing is, you can't win, and I know you could. You could camp a little bit and play the edges, but it's not entertaining. And so the fact that you could even do both was where I was like, oh, this guy got some chops in him. Like he's not, this ain't a joke. This isn't just some sort of like, all right, guys, and I'm not trying to shit on the Minecraft speedrunners. I know your ass was playing Minecraft the other night, but everyone and their mom's playing Minecraft. So being able to see you play Warfare with that kind of capabilities is really dope. And it is truly entertaining, man. I enjoy my time just lurking on your channel there. Here's the thing, Mr. Jordy, all right? Something that I do here on this show is I pull up the guest's channel, all right? And I just have some questions. I just got some questions.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy. There's nothing too crazy. And let's focus right now on the channel points, all right? That's the first thing I want to talk about with you. Now, I've gone through your channel points, and for the most part, pretty clean. Nothing that's sus or like really out of pocket reward. But I have like there's some that I'm just like, I noticed there's a trend. First off, can you tell me what it says for what is this? 12,000 points. It says give a hot 600, and the description says pick someone who's not a mod for a hot 600. What's a hot 600?
It's a timeout for 10 minutes. You never heard that before?
I've never heard the term Hot 600. I thought this was gonna be more salacious. What the fuck is this? You just
Do you know this? Do you know the streamer C's by any chance?
No, I don't. No. Why?
The third. He was a big streamer back in H1Z1. He's still a big streamer now. Even on Fortnite, he was.
Yeah.
And when he used to get trolls in his chat, he used to say, "Hey, I think it's time for you to have a Hot 600," and then you time them out for 10 minutes. So that's where that came from.
So that's your true.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's just a timeout for 10 minutes, but it sounds cooler than a 10-minute timeout.
A high 600 was much better. Like I honestly, I looked into it. I tried to figure out what the hell it meant, and I had to ask that. All right. This one I have seen before, but I'm curious to see if anyone's cashed it in. For 15,000 points, it says change my desktop background. Select an image from me on Discord to send as my desktop wallpaper. Must not break TOS, which is great. Good stuff to hear. What is the weirdest one you've gotten from your community?
There's some pretty bad ones.
Go ahead. Hey, I don't really mind. Go ahead. What you got?
What's the weirdest one?
I'll give you top 3 if you need.
The thing is I could open up a folder and have a look at them all, but it's on my other PC because I just changed. I've had one of my. I think he was in the chat earlier. He might be right now. I don't want to give his name out, but he was standing there flexing while taking a selfie on Snapchat, and it had some real cringe quote on it. That was one of them.
Oh, you mean your roommate, the one that was in here? Yeah, he was here earlier.
No, not Tom, not Tom. No.
Tom.
What else have I had?
There's one that says the bald one.
Oh yeah, I had a that Snapchat filter that made you bald, and I took a selfie of myself and sent it to like a little Snapchat group chat, and someone screenshotted it and then saved it and then set it as the thing for me. I've also had another guy just completely out the random who just set it as a picture of him floating on a pool floaty. It was just weird. Most people put like memes or something on it. But this guy just thought it'd be funny to put himself floating on a pool floaty. But
he just wants you staring at him. That's it. He wants you staring in the background at him. Shit, these just a bunch of that's a little sus, but it's fine. I got one more, and I'm combining the two. All right, because the thing is, a lot of people on as streamers will do stuff. I'm even guilty of it. One of my channel points is yoink VIP, get mod. But you have two that are anti that. You have one that's 75,000 and another one that's 125,000 points. The 75,000 says revoke a VIP badge for 30 days, as well as revoke a mod for 14 days. How the hell are you getting, like, what? Why in the world? I understand the VIP. Also, nice little footnote. Someone is exempted, but how in the world? Just a little foot. Don't think I'm gonna ignore that. All right, my man. I see you. I see right through the. Oh, what?
Part of our arrangement.
Our arrangement? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Our arrangement?
Yeah.
What is this?
I got moderator in her channel. See, I topped it. I got above the VIP, and she got VIP. But then I was like, because people love picking on her in my chat. I don't know. They think she's like an easy target or something.
Wait, this man is working.
They quite often will time her out, or if she was available for it, I 100% guarantee someone would steal it straight away just for the meme of it. So she made sure that I put that on there to not have it revoked.
Fucking arrangement. This man was dancing on a tight wire as you were answering that question. I could see. I've never seen more like thinking power in one sentence than what he just had to go through. Because I feel I know I get it. And that's true, Midge. We should have worked together. I could have gladly been your manager. We could have made this a mod for mod deal. You took the VIP. I don't know. But tell me this, you're willing to have a mod revoked. How did that work in your mind that was like, oh, that's okay? Because mods are pretty fucking important. They help. They're the security guards. They do all this other shit back end.
Yeah, it was more so because it's so many treat rewards, 125,000. If I have a loyal viewer in there that has that many treats, then obviously they probably understand the mod, and they probably, most people in the stream will know each other and are friends with each other, etc.
Yeah.
They don't really see it as like a bad thing. It's more of like a meme, like funny thing, or like
Okay.
say if someone got timed out for it and then they come back from the timeout and they'll be like, all right, you're not doing that again for another 2 weeks, and then they'll revoke it type of thing. It's only happened a few times that the majority of my stream is the Hot 600 one where people get timed out. That's also why Midget isn't a mod, because mods can't get timed out with that. It's VIP scan, so people
So
can
she still can
on
get
there
a
with
little
that.
bit of the abuse in that with getting
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, you made it fair. It evens out.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's all I got in terms of your channel points. I like it. It's clean. It's stylish. I love it. But then here's the thing, Jordy. Here's the thing. This is where people start getting a little worried, because I also go through your clips. Okay.
Oh god.
And
Yeah.
I've pulled 3 clips. Only 3.
Oh, no.
And the hard part is lately I have to choose ones with no music because of the whole copyright stuff.
Yeah.
But there are 3 clips I have a question. I just want to understand you, man. I'm just here to understand you. I'm fucking with you, but no, dead ass. I am trying to understand what's going on at some of these clips here.
Yeah.
And we go from least embarrassing to most embarrassing. So this first one here, really cool. I had no idea this actually happened to you, and it's fucking awesome. It is apparently Tfue did raid you, but it isn't about him. It only is in the title. It's not about him. Let me switch over cam so everyone can watch with us here. Here you are.
Should I be watching too?
You can if you want. I don't know how you're gonna listen to it with the volume. That's my problem. Actually, I think you can listen to it with the volume. It shouldn't catch.
It's alright. It's alright. I'll just watch it. Yeah.
Here's the first one, guys. Let's take a look. I think this just sets the tone as to who we're watching today. Just look how brown the shoe is. The sole isn't even white anymore, my man. This is not a new shoe. That is a...
Ugh.
This is clearly a young man, by the way. Just a younger Jordyx3. Let's freeze frame right there. So, guys, Jordy, this is not even a fresh shoe. All right, my man. This is this shoe looks like it stepped on a lot of bar bathrooms. That's what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, that's the nasty shoe. That was the shoey shoe for a while. It had like black mold growing in it at one point as well, but I just ignored that. I'm still alive.
And you drank out of the black mold? Like, what the?
Yeah.
Are you all right, my man? Are you okay, dude? What the hell is
Hey,
it?
not every day someone hosts you for 50,000 viewers. So
That's
yeah,
very
okay.
true. Tell me of the emotions and the mindset that's running through you as fucking Tfue, one of the biggest on the platform, hosts you.
So I've known him for ages, back through H1Z1, and we followed each other back on Twitter ages ago, like well before he blew up on Fortnite or anything. So I kind of expected one day that it may happen, and I thought about it a few times in my head with it. And the one thing that came to my head when it happened was there's going to be a lot of people in here, and a lot of them are going to click off the stream within the first 30 seconds unless something interesting happens.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I did before that right there was I don't know if he's hosted me a few times. I don't know if this is the first one that he did, but I don't know if you remember, he used to jump out his window when he used to get his Fortnite wins.
Yep.
Well, the window behind me, just behind the curtain, just behind me here, I went and jumped out that window, and his chat loved it, and then came back and then did a shoey straight after, because my thought process was I got 30 seconds to be as entertaining as relatable as possible, and I need to make as many of these people, enjoy their time here if I ever want to see them again type thing. So that was the thought process that went through my head. And in terms of like the other half of it, like all the people watching, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I never really, I don't feel like any pressure with that type of stuff, like in games or of how many people are watching. I kind of just like brush it aside and just carry on doing me. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a shock at first, but yeah, after that, it's all easy.
Well, the fascinating part is, first of all, I love the way almost everything you've just said. I love the way your mind works. And now I'm starting to see you in the whole content creator side, the streamer side of you, because it's so true. You know, most people will kind of sit there and, you know, oh my gosh, there's so many people, and they get lost in the moment. But for you to be like, I'm going to capitalize on this shit. I'm going to do something out of pocket. I'm going to jump out a fucking window. Of course his crew will know that. And I'm going to do this. If they knew about the black mold at the time, man, clearly you could see on the follows, people are like, oh, they're eating this shit up. This is crazy. Who is this man?
Yeah.
Who is this man? I got to come back. Even if I can't stay right now, I got to come back later. So I like that. I like where your head's at. Definitely, you know, honestly though, this in pocket. I did not expect anything less from you. I think this is, when I see you chugging out a shoe, I was like, I don't even know you that well. I'm like, no, okay, this kind of makes sense. It comes with the mustache, I think. But
Yeah.
that's only the first one, man. That's only the first one. See, not so bad. It's not so bad.
Oh
But then we get into the second one, and this one is just more of a comment. And, you know, as for me, as a boomer, a little bit, I get it. Like, sometimes we fall, we just kind of get entangled into these layups of jokes, and I think someone in your community got you. So let's take a listen to what he says.
Jordy, can you give my mate Matu the sub roll?
Matu.
Matu, balls in your mouth.
Nice. Nice. I actually fell for that.
How? That's so fucking brutal. First of all, the joke's corny as fuck. The joke is very corny. But you're on top of all the shit. You're on top of all the memes, the trends. Why tonight? Why this? Why this?
I honestly, I don't know, because like at the time, I think I was doing like Counter-Strike, like 5v5 sub customs at the time.
Yeah.
And we'd get a few new people that would come in and sub, and a few other people that had just never really like typed in chat before but wanted to play. And because it was everyone that was a sub, like I didn't really care who it was. If they wanted to play, we'd even all the teams out and whatnot. And then when it was Cuckles, one of my mods, and he came to me and he said, "Oh, can my friend Matu play?" And Matu kind of sounds like someone's like, yeah, like an actual name. It's like an off like Matthew almost in a way. And I was like, oh, that sounds like legit. And it just didn't go through my head. I was too busy organizing everything else, and I was too focused on that. And then he hit me with it, and that was the first ever time that I've been done with one of those. Like that was the first ever one.
You got you're aging, dude. You're aging. All right. This is a young man's game, and you got
My
caught.
brain's not as sharp. Yeah.
You got caught slipping. It's okay. It's okay. Because here's the thing. All right. The last clip here, I think, is your redemption. I think if this is you being a boomer, this next clip, I think you're gonna become a coomer in one moment. So here we have something. It just openly says gay, and so I had to check out what possibly could be the worst thing that happens here. And I even have to lower it because of what's about to occur, guys. Listen in.
Pussy. Bitch cunt. $10 dono, do it.
So, okay. So Mr. Jordy, I just, first of all, let's just get it at the right. There it is. Why, what the hell? What's going on here, my man? What, $10 for that? $10 to deep throw your mic?
Yeah, that's the easiest $10 I've ever made.
And it seems, you know, I don't want to put you in any spot here, but you full sended that. You had no hesitation. There was no... There's no gag reflex whatsoever. I was perplexed when I saw this for the first time an hour ago. I was like, is this man really gonna fucking... First, I thought you were like trying to make jacking off noises. And then, because it's so ominous, it's like we have no, we watch it for the first time. There's no pretense of what's going on. And you're like, all right, do it. Fucking fine. You take off the thing and you just go fucking full send. What in the world? Is this a common bit? If someone donates you $10 on your stream tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's easy. Easy money.
Guys, you heard it here. You heard it here first, all right? I want you to clip that, keep it forever. That's easy. It's true. It's true. Is that the same mic you got on right now?
No. I'm actually selling that microphone. I've got it right here. It's in this bag at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually selling this to one of my other mods.
Nice.
He knows all about that. It's been in my mouth and farted on multiple times. Yeah. Here's the exact mic right here.
What is that? About 5 inches? That's wild.
Yeah, that's probably a bit bigger.
Yeah, it's pretty girthy too. That's you.
That's probably like 7 or so. Yeah, that's a
trooper.
good size. Yeah.
But your mom was like, "No, listen, I'll take it. I'll just take it. It's fine. I'll pay whatever you want. I'll pay whatever you want for it." I think the value went up higher. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. That's also all the farts that have been pumped into it as well. That's another one.
That blows my mind because I rated you and you fucking farted. Okay, explain that to me. How in the world did that become a bit where you're like, oh, yeah, the raid's here, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I farted my mic. Can you literally fart on command, or was it just in that moment that you're like, this is...
I mean, anyone can fart on command if they push out enough. I was just hoping that it wasn't a wet one, and it wasn't, so...
That shit's gonna be on one of those inspirational fucking, posters. Anyone can push out a fart if they try hard enough. Holy cow. Jordyx3, put the fucking whatever thing on it. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. That's your next merch. But see, that's all the fucking bullshit on the side, all right? That's all the silly stuff. We get out all the pleasantries out of the way because the whole point of this show, my man, is I want to pick your brain. I want to understand you both within the realm of Twitch and outside of Twitch. So specifically in terms of streaming and all that, let me ask you an introspective question about yourself. What have you learned about yourself through streaming?
With the hard question straight away.
Yeah, come on.
What have I learned about myself? That it's the main thing probably is to just not care, to not care what others think, and just to be yourself. Really, people will appreciate you for who you are and not. The real ones. The one thing that that's actually easy now that I think about it. Your real friends and the real ones will appreciate you for who you are and not someone that you're trying to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense as the advice. Let me ask you this: when did you learn that? Was that something during your streaming career that you developed? You're like, oh wait, people will still fuck with me no matter what. It's kind of over time, just with things. As I said, there's been lots of ups and downs with everything, and I've kind of always, since I started streaming, I always stuck to that. I always had like a mindset of to be true to yourself, and be honest with yourself and all that, and not to fake who you are in order to make it or suck up to anyone type thing. So yeah. I think I kind of just I feel like that mindset attracts people, and then that's kind of what I learned is, what I feel is a good way to go about things. On the this is now just a side note. I did want to ask you about this. I noticed your stream team. All right, the Kennel. How did you choose the name as well as the people that are in it? I've never gotten. I usually forget to ask this with people that are partnered or who have created teams themselves. But yours is very unique. There's only 2 that I'm aware of that I really pay attention towards in the OCE and New Zealand communities, and it's yourself as well as of course the Who. So like my question for you is, yours is it's literally the exact opposite. You have a certain amount of people, you have your brand. How'd you choose the name and the people?
The name just came from there was actually someone who recommended it. I'd been wanting to make a stream team for a very long time because for multiple reasons is there's so much like OCE content out there that goes unrecognized just because they have a low viewer count and then show up low on like the leaderboards of things. It's hard for people to discover that.
Yeah.
So that was the first reason for wanting to make the team, was for me having a bit of traction already, was to help out these other people that had a good amount of content, I guess you could say, that hadn't been recognized yet. And then the name came from someone in my stream, just recommending it. There's a big, I'm a big fan of dogs. I love dogs. So that's we got a few dog emotes and such, and a lot of the stuff is to do with dogs on the stream, like my Discord search, the ARF Army, and a few other things. So the name just kind of stuck because the kennel's like a home for the dogs, for it's kind of just what was referred to as all the other streamers in there. And then the way that I picked the people was I started off with an initial 5 just people that I was close with, which was Serena, Shani, Doc, and Instinct. So those were the initial streamers on there, and then after we got a little bit of traction with that, we just slowly asked a bunch of my other like friends and other streamers that I know that I thought had good content, and we're putting in a grind that wasn't getting as much recognition as it deserved, and just slowly have over the time invited everyone in that I think's a good fit for it.
True. No, I and you know what? Oddly enough, I fully agree. I took a look at each and every one of those streamers, and I was like 100%. I'm I could see it, whether it be production value or the time put in or the content itself, or all three. And I think that's a big error within the Twitch community at large, is that there are so many people. It's so oversaturated that it is tough to get recognized. But those that are putting the effort and time and production value are also in that same kind of mix. And so it kind of it's one of those things where it's like, how do you actually stand out in a place that doesn't allow for that to happen as well, because of the disparaging or the great differences between the top content creators and then the people that are at zero, because they also get their certain like if you were to go on the filter list, you're able to go to zero pretty quick. Same with those that can get to the top, but the middle is just fucking dog shit of you're lost in the mix. So to have that's good on you. I love that a lot. I love that part. Mr. Jordy, how would you describe your streaming style?
I'd like to say unique, but pretty much the way that I've always kind of done my streams has always been through solo gameplay, and then just a bunch of like weird shit and me saying a bunch of stupid shit. All the games that I played, I always focus on solos because that's easiest for me to show how good I am as a player, and then also to interact with the chat. I find that's a good mix for both of it. And then
Let me ask this though. If I'm gonna challenge you a little bit though on this, Jordy, right? Because I agree. I want to use words like unique too. How does that happen when you're playing a game that a lot of people play? What is the unique part?
The skill set and my ability to almost in a way like piss around but still be good at it in a way.
Yeah, totally.
Like I have so I play pretty much only like battle royale type games like Fortnite, H1, and Warzone, and PUBG as well. And all 4 of those games, not sure on the Warzone, I have the solo kill record for all of them. So in Oceania. So that's kind of what I go for when I do these things. And that's what makes it unique in a way, that someone can transfer from all these battle royales and still be, still have the highest, not necessarily the best, but the best like solo stomper, I guess you could say.
Oh, fucking flex that, dude. I know what you're trying your best to kind of play. It's not the best. It's pretty good. No, dude. If you, I was just actually, as you're saying that, I was looking at your panels being like, where is that? Where can I find that? He's like, where's your rank? Where's your shit? Because I think that's a big part about you, that is unique. That makes you stand out, as well as it's an added bonus, it's frosting on the cake, that you're funny and that you're palatable. And that you fucking fart in the mic if you got it if you want. Yeah, if someone asks, maybe they don't even fucking ask.
Oh yeah, if I have a big one coming, I'll let it out into the mic that no one has to ask.
My God, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
If I have enough time to prepare it as well, I'll turn on some filters on my mixer, give it a bit of echo and a bit of bass.
Gain. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Exactly. I feel it. Let me ask you about your community. All right. Let me ask you about your community and the especially with the ebbs and flows of it all. If I ask your community right now, those that really fuck with your content, those that are there through and through. If I ask your community who you are, what do you think they'd say to me if I never watched you before?
Oh, probably a fucking idiot. Oh, am I allowed to swear? I can swear, right?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, do it before you get another drink if you want. I don't care. Drink it out of a shoe. I don't give a shit. You think that Twitch is watching me right now? That's insane. No, so
yeah, they'd probably say a fucking idiot or a good cunt. Probably one of the two.
Fucking idiot or good. I do have one that says cockhead. I have cockhead.
Cockhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Idiot's another one. Yep. Big nose. Yeah, there's a lot. Big head. There's just a lot. Your head's not that big. Is it very big?
It's odd shaped. But no. Yeah, it's a big head. People say I have a big nose. You be honest with me. Do I have a big nose?
No, I've seen bigger.
Exactly.
Guys, at It's Parker, you could find him. Yeah, that's not even close.
Was it Midget who said that? It was probably Midget, wasn't it?
Midget had the dickhead one, but the big nose one I did see at the beginning from a lot of people. That's not you weren't even on the damn screen, and it was already, this guy's got a fucking big ass head, and I was like, I guess this is something I gotta talk about. I have to address it. Let's flip the question around though, Jordy. Let's flip it around and say, how would you describe your community to me if I had never been in your stream before?
A bunch of real ones, a bunch of lads and ladettes. They're all kind of similar in a way. I don't know how to explain it. They all kind of have they all share some, not a common interest, but like a common like personality trait. Like they're all like willing to have a laugh and willing to not take things so seriously just be real ones. I don't know. I
guess
like that a lot. Yeah.
It's funny because it's I asked you about your community, think of you, and you're like big nose, whatever, big ass head, fucking wonky fart, dickhead, and then you're over here with some wholesome shit. They're actually really
and I
good
go say nice stuff. Yeah, unbelievable.
That's how it's built. That's how this show is built. I wanted to, because we like to make them feel, and now they're all giving you hearts and shit. See, it's all part of the formula. It's all part of the formula here, Jory. That's what we're here about. That's dope, dude. That's dope. I like that a lot, especially from being on your stream and watching it from my point of view. Yeah, it really does feel cozy. It doesn't feel like I'm, like it's a unauthentic relationship. We have you read all our shit, you react to all this shit. You throw it back in the sense of like, if we're talking shit, you're gonna roast us back with no remorse. And it feels balanced. That's the big thing, because especially when someone's playing a game with such focus or intensity, more often than not, the chat pays for it. It comes at the expense of communication and of being able to be attentive to that. So your ability to balance both is I think, in my opinion, where I give you the most praise, because that is very unique. I don't see that with many other streamers.
It's getting there. It's not the greatest. I can do a lot better. There'll be like times where I'll be on top of it all, and then there'll be other times where I'm just so lost in the chat and I can't get like a traction with it or remember what the hell I was talking about in the game. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. That's one of the things that I'm working on, I guess.
True. I like that though. I like that. Mr. Jordy, you've already finished the first segment. That's it. That's easy. See what I mean, man? It's not that hard. It's not that daunting, whatever it may be. But I will say this, all right? The second one that we end up doing here is the life stories. All right, this is the
Yeah.
bread and butter of the show. This is the whole reason I made this thing, is to give me an excuse to be nosy about other people's lives and see what's created them the way they fucking are. But before I do that, there is a bit that I do. I'm gonna leave you with everyone here for a moment. All right, I'm gonna walk away for 1 minute only. I just gotta take a quick piss. I say it's a bit, but it is. But you can open the chat. You can pay attention to them for this 1 minute, all right? For this 1 minute, go react to whatever the fuck they're saying. By the way, if you ever have to go to the bathroom or anything, just stop me from talking and you can go. Like, it's not even that formal, man. It's not even that formal. But go ahead. I give you 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Is he gone? I think he's gone. Chat, can we spam tryhard7 in the chat? Hey guys, what are you doing there? Yeah, it's hard work. Climbing. Wait, Tom, can you go get me some beers? I'll give you some money. Can you get me a box of Coronas? Give me some money. Please, Tom, do it for the stream.
You all right, my man?
Yeah. What's
All
up?
right. Sometimes I did go to the restroom, but I stayed there for like 10 extra seconds. I'm just watching what the fuck you're doing. And you're prancing around your room. Are you all right?
I wasn't. What are you talking about?
What was that?
I was just giving Tom some money to get me some more beers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's on me. I was gonna ask you. I never even got to ask you at the top of the show. You nervous, my man? Is this weird for you to be on the other side of this?
Nah, easy.
Okay.
No stress.
No stress.
Nothing at all. Nah.
No. As it should be, honestly. As it should be. That's the whole point of the thing here. The point of the show. What kind of beer are you getting? What kind of beer is Tom getting you?
Oh, I don't even know. I told him to get me some beer. He's gonna get some nasty ones probably. Right now, I'm drinking Asahi's.
Ooh.
I might. Oh, hold on. Tom, get Coronas. All right.
No, get that box wine in. Oh, he has to. I think he's here. He just said, "My 50 now yoink." Oh. Well.
I thought you already left.
Oh, this is perfect. Awesome. All right, Mr. Jordy. All right, let's go on this trip about your life. All right, we're going into the life story segment of the show. And as you know, it's broken in into roughly 4 segments. We'll start off with family. We'll talk about your friends in school. We'll talk about work, and then we'll lastly finish off with romantic relationships. All right.
Yeah.
So from the top.
Excuse me.
No, don't worry about it. Without doxing yourself, where were you born and raised?
Wellington. I was the first baby born in October in Wellington, actually. closest
way.
to midnight. It was like a couple minutes after midnight, and I got some signed Harry McCleary books, which
Yeah.
you probably haven't heard of. It was a New Zealand author who made this like book series, Harry McCleary from Donaldson's Dairy, just like a kid's book thing. And I got one of them that was signed by
Yo.
her. I don't know why they did it.
How?
Apparently, it's
Oh.
something special for being the first baby or the closest baby born to October.
You still have it to this day?
Yes, I do. It's locked away somewhere.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I've moved houses like several times around here, but everything is all born and all raised in Wellington.
How many siblings do you have, if you have any?
I have 2 older brothers, 30 and 28.
And so you're the youngest.
I'm the youngest.
And
yeah,
at
23.
how old, by the way? 23? Which, by the way,
23, yeah.
happy birthday. Wait, you said the 1st or the last of October?
The first, so it's just over a month ago now.
This man, 23, just had his
I'm
birthday.
getting old.
You get ready. No, I'll give you until 25 before you're irrelevant, my man. Honestly. No, I'm fucking 27, dude, and I'm wearing a fucking bandana with this. This is a shirt that is snowboarding. You think my ass has ever been snowboarding ever? Not at all. All right? I just
neither
know
have I, actually. Yeah, I've never been snowboarding nor skiing.
But like
Another fun fact.
aesthetically, it looks like you could. All right, that's what I'm getting at. Myself,
I'm an
not at
esports
all.
athlete.
I see that. So you know, actually, it's kind of crazy. Of the 34 times I've done this, statistically, I would say about 85% are the youngest child that are streamers. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's something in the water. It seems maybe we crave that attention. Are you a mama's boy? Are you know, being the youngest? Are you the one that's like very much the favorite, if you may? All right, that's coming from a fellow younger or youngest kid.
Probably not. No, I was a very naughty kid when I was younger. I was probably the least favorite.
How were you so naughty? What did you do?
Oh, lots of naughty stuff. My parents threatened to send me to boarding school a lot of times. Because I was just pissing around at school, getting in a lot of trouble with the teachers, and just not being a naughty kid, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Just not cooperating and refusing to do things and all that type of stuff.
How about amongst your brothers?
Like compared to my brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brothers were fine. Yeah, no, they were normal kids. It was just me. Yeah.
So your brothers are like, hey there, mom, like, we love you, happy Mother's Day, here's like a card or whatever, and you're over there in the side just banging your head against the wall, you're yelling stuff. What kind of
Yeah.
you had a lot of energy as a kid. That was you growing up, the household, 3 boys, and you were the one that was just like, I need to fucking be doing something.
Yeah, kind of in a way. Yeah. Both my brothers used to like team up on me, so I kind of always had to fight for myself. Like, even though they were both older, they would still, when we had like our little fights, like our rumbles, it usually used to be 2-on-1 with them 2 versus me, which I didn't think was very fair. But yeah,
Yeah. Why was it
I was
never?
like their little rag doll for them, you know. Like they would like they'd throw me or hit me or whatnot, and then I'd come running back angry, and then they'd do it again, and it would be entertainment for them.
Are you close now? You know, everyone's much older. So what's your relationship with your siblings right now?
I mean, it's not bad. It's not good. Like I see one of my brothers probably like once a week or so, because we go to the same gym, and I see him. Livery, what do you want him?
That was perfect. That was
Thank you.
perfect. He did that way too well. He did that so fucking well, I thought a tab was open. All right, my man. That was ridiculous. That was good.
What was I saying? Oh, the relationships. Yeah, I see one like once a week, and the other I see like once a year or so.
Yeah.
One of them has a kid that my niece. So I'm an uncle.
Wow.
And I probably should go see her more than often, but the only 2 times that I've seen her was when she was born and when it was her first birthday. So I've seen her twice in a year.
That's sick though. I mean, Yeah, probably should visit a little bit more, Uncle Jordy.
Yeah.
All right, but
I'm just busy. Yeah.
oh, busy man, fit her
Busy
into the
sleeping.
schedule.
Oh yeah, and she doesn't fit into the schedule. She's got a bloody preschool stuff going on. Like, doesn't has to go to bed before 7. Like, I'm only
Yeah.
waking up at 7. Like, come on, she can stay up a few extra hours for me.
Oh my goodness, ridiculous. That is, you are an absolute DJ. What time you going to bed, my man? What time do you go to bed usually?
Oh, this morning it was like 8 o'clock.
Sheesh, dude. Jeez.
Yeah.
No wonder it was so hard to communicate with you. You were probably the hardest guest I had to talk to you because it's like, first of all, okay, fair enough. I don't expect you to read your DMs, but I'm just like, it's the most random times that you'll message me, and I'm just like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on here, dude? Are you all right? Like, is everything okay? But I feel
Yeah.
that. I feel that. So, that's going on with your brothers. Yeah, probably should pull up a little bit of the uncle duties, and then you have the other brother that you see at the gym from time to time. Are you all alike?
Yep. One of my brothers looks like me, and the other one looks like he was adopted. So my middle brother looks like me. We have like the same build. I'm the second shortest in the family. And I'm 6'2". Both of my brothers are 6'3", and my dad's 6'4".
Wow.
So my middle brother is the one that looks like me. His name's Daniel.
Mhm.
And he's the one with a kid, and he got married. He got married at 21. There's a funny story behind that, which I'll go into in a second.
Yeah, totally.
So he looks like me, and he looked like me pretty much up until about my age now.
Mhm.
And then he got a completely different haircut. We used to have like the same mops on our head, pretty much.
Mhm.
And then my other brother just looks completely different. He looks like a brute. He's got beef all over him, and
Yeah.
tree trunks for legs, and he's got
Yeah.
like dark brown hair with like a full grown like beard type thing. He looks like a Wookiee almost. So he copped like he copped like the other side of the genes
Mhm.
for it.
Mhm.
And yeah. The story of my brother getting married at 21.
Yeah.
So he went to a hospitality school up in New Plymouth, which is like 5 hours drive north of Wellington, where I live. And when he was there, he met this girl from Germany who'd flown over to do this course over here. And they were dating for about 6 months. And everything was going really well. And she was really smart with everything as well. She was like the ducks of each year. Like, she always got the highest grades and whatnot, and always was helping my brother out
Nice.
with things. And then when it came to the end of the year, they had a bunch of like course fees for it all. And because she was an international student and she didn't have a New Zealand citizenship, she had to pay international fees, which are around $6,000. And my brother jokingly said, "Oh, why don't we just get married and then you'll be a New Zealand citizen? You won't have to pay the fees." And they kind of just laughed about it. And then in the coming weeks, they're like, "You know what if we actually get married? We'll save you $6,000, and then if it goes well, it goes well, and if it doesn't, it doesn't." Like, they're just like, "Screw it, go for it."
Yeah.
So then a couple of weeks later, he got his best mate and she got her best mate, and they went to the chapel and got married.
Holy cow. How did this roll with your family and you?
My brother didn't originally tell my parents, I don't think. He held off a little bit before telling them. And then like a year later, they had like their proper wedding, with everything, like everyone coming and walking down the aisle and whatnot. But they were legally married a year before that.
Wait. Time out. So, like, what is going through your head when you're hearing this for the first time? When you're like, hey, listen, all right, I'm married to this girl.
Remember how I told you that one of my brothers was like me and the other one wasn't?
Yeah.
Well, this is where my other brother's kind of like a screw it, like fuck it, just do it type guy as well, like I am, So that's probably why he did that. And yeah, there wasn't really anything. I was like, oh yeah, classic, classic Daniel move. I didn't care. It's not my life.
How about the
Maybe he
parents?
can do
How
what
about
he
the
wants.
parents?
I don't think my dad cared too much either. My mom was a little bit worried because she's like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What if
Fair.
you've you've got married and you have to get divorced, and then she's gonna take half of your stuff or whatnot and all that. So, but yeah, that's what was it? It's like 7 years later now. They're still married. They have a kid and they have another one on the way. So yeah, it looks like he did something right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you about your parents though. Was it a strict household that you lived in growing up?
I wouldn't say that it wasn't super strict, but it wasn't like not strict. It was kind of in the middle. Like they would let me do majority of things, but there'd also be times where they'd just say like straight up no and wouldn't give me a reason for it. It's quite strict in terms of like, it sounds weird, but my mum would never let like, I would only, if she ever saw me like eating like junk food or anything like that, she always wanted to make sure that I was very healthy with things. Like she never bought any fizzy drink or any like Cocoa Pops or anything like nice food like that. Like the biggest treat that we would get was a block of chocolate that would be shared through like the family on like a Saturday or every second Saturday or something. That was only like nice food that we get.
That's the most old school thing I've ever heard on the show. What? All right, guys, this is it. Only Saturdays. Those are our cheat days. And it's a block of chocolate, a block of it, just one big old Hershey's bar.
Like probably like 250, 300 grams or something. I don't know how much that is in your guys' American scale, but yeah, like enough to have like a couple pieces each. Like and she would always have to have like the wheat bread and the low fat milk. Not the wheat bread, so the what do they call it? The whole grain, all that type of stuff. And there was never really anything unhealthy in the house. So that's probably why I eat so much McDonald's and drink so much shit and beer right now, because I was deprived as a kid. I used to work in a kitchen. We'll get onto that shortly. I'll just tell you this part.
Totally.
And sometimes I do breakfast functions, and they would put out all of the like Cocoa Pops and Nutri-Grain and the Wheat Bix and all like the breakfast foods for it all. And then at the end of it, they wouldn't put it back, obviously. So if it wasn't eaten, they would they'd give it to the staff if they wanted to take it, and I would always be the one to take home like a little container full of Cocoa Pops that I would keep under my bed because I wasn't allowed it at home. And also like I'd always get the Nutri-Grain and the Cocoa Pops. Those are the two nicest ones.
I like how, people your age, they'd be like, oh, I'm sneaking alcohol, I'm sneaking weed. You're sneaking a bin of Cocoa Puffs underneath your bed, praying your mom doesn't find it. Did they ever find it? Did they ever find your stash?
No, I don't think so, no.
No? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, get this. She's on the call. What was that?
Yeah. Because this was when I was like 15, 16, because I started working when I was real young. It was when I was like 17, 18. She didn't really care because I could like do my own thing and whatnot. Like she couldn't stop me anymore. I was an adult then,
Exactly. So, I mean, the second you get your job, you have the money. You could probably buy it yourself. What's stopping you?
And the other thing was once I got that money too, I told her she used to make me lunches every day until I went to like high school and then college, as we call it here. And then because she stopped making the lunches and I was too lazy to, I used to just buy my lunches from the canteen every day because I had the money from the job. So that's also when the unhealthy trend happened as well.
Oh, I like it. It's like you're fucking living that Benjamin Button lifestyle. You're going in reverse. You're going, because usually the older you get, we have to like watch what we eat. We develop people develop allergies and shit like that. You're like, no, fuck it. I'm gonna try out McDonald's as every rapper meal they have. I don't know who the new one is this week. Fucking whatever. Shove that shit down your throat. You're good to go. Tell me about your relationship with your parents. You close with your mom, with your dad, with both?
I'd say kind of equal in a way. Dad's very like he's like how would I explain it? Probably like he's very bland and just straight to the point with things. He doesn't like messing around. He's very like hardworking, and he knows a lot of shit as well. He'll never like, if he can do something himself, he'll do it. He never will pay anyone to do something for him unless he really doesn't know how to do it. And he's just very like, I don't know. He's almost like emotionless in a way, if that makes sense. Like he kind of just does his own thing and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I'll go to him if I need any help with like any of my like taxes or my car or anything that I don't know about.
Yeah.
That
The
we
grown
weren't
man
like
shit.
taught in
Yeah.
school. Yeah. And then Mom's kind of the opposite of him. She's not bland, but like yeah, she's good. I have a pretty good relationship with my parents. I don't see them too often, but yeah, there's not really anything bad there. Like I'll call them every now and then and ask them if they need anything or if I need something off them.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
nice.
pretty good both ways there. I
Like,
see them more than I see my brothers, to put it that way.
I feel that. I feel that. I'll ask you one more question about your family or your growing up, and then we'll move on to the next one here. What would if you could speak to yourself at a younger age, whatever age it may be, what would you tell yourself about who you are now?
What would I tell myself?
Yeah.
Probably to leave school earlier and work harder and save my money better.
Mhm.
Probably. There's not really too much else I would
Yes.
change. I kind of lived the childhood that I would hope to live in another a life if I could do it again. Wasn't really too much that I would change about it, to be honest. Started
that.
working early. I got into a
Mhm.
job straight away. Saved up a bunch of money. I pretty much have everything that I want now, and the rest is just yeah, what's to come.
Nice.
I'll
Perfect.
just tell myself to save money and to I'd probably leave school a year earlier and get my ass into gear a bit faster.
I like that. Speaking of you going to school and all that jazz, all right, let's touch on that a little bit. Let's touch on that a little bit here. So, not too much on grade school, but let's go straight into high school. Under all the cliques and stereotypes of what people are in high school, what were you?
I was like the class clown.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was always sacrificing getting in trouble for making the class laugh. I was also very good at sports as well. So yeah, it was like the I didn't really care about any schoolwork. Like I'd never like studied once in my life. I've never read a book before either, like an actual book.
Yeah.
And I never did any study for anything. I always just used like general knowledge, common sense to do all of my exams and all that type of stuff. And then things that I focused on at school pretty much were just like my hard tech, which was like the woodwork, and then sport. Those were pretty much the two things. And
Yeah.
it's just a class clown, I guess you could say.
Well, let's start off with athletics. All right. What did you play in high school?
In high school, I played a mixture of football and rugby. I
Nice.
split two each years. I would go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 because I had a lot of friends that played football and I had a lot of friends that played rugby as well. The last 2 years I played rugby, and I think the first like 2 years I played football. Because in school you got the first 15 rugby team, and they usually only take like the 2 top years of players because you're too young and not big enough to play in the team when you're in the lower years of college. So I played football with my friends first, and then when it got a bit more competitive and serious, I went into the first 15 rugby team and played in that.
What position were you in football?
Football, I was a left back.
Oh, way,
left
really?
defender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like a
Yeah.
linebacker is what I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I did not see that one coming. I thought you were gonna be a tight end or a wide receiver for some reason.
No, not that football.
Oh, I'm thinking you're thinking
Yeah,
soccer. Oh,
yeah,
Jesus. That is called American ignorance, my man. That was
yeah,
complete
yeah.
on me.
No,
That
we
was
call that gridiron over here.
gridiron.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
gridiron.
You guys are see, you'd think with the amount of people from down under that I've interviewed here that I would know this shit by now, but it's just it must be it's the Donald Trump in me. It's the election in me that I'm just fucking full of shit here, man. I'm sorry. But no, I feel that. So that makes a lot more sense. Mr. Active, you're playing all these sports in high school. Now you
Yeah.
also mentioned you were a class clown. Give me some of these stories. What defined you? What are these things about you that you did in class, whether it be pranks or fucking shit that you got in trouble for, that you hang your hat on now to this day?
Oh gosh. I can only really remember one. There was lots of just stupid things where like there was one time where I went to go like sharpen my pencil behind the teacher's desk. And he was teaching the class. They used to have it like they'd have like the whiteboard at the back, and then his desk would be in front of that. And for some reason, the bin was right up against the whiteboard. So I went up to behind him. I went to sharpen my pencil behind him, and the marker that was on the board was there ready. So instead of sharpening my pencil, I grabbed the marker. I can't remember what I wrote on it. I think I wrote something stupid. Like I was probably only like 15 at the time, where I pointed like an arrow pointing towards him and wrote like loser or something on the board.
Okay.
And then this is when I was a bit of a bad kid and I didn't really care. And obviously everyone in the class finds that hilarious when I'm doing that behind the teacher's back. And then he turns around and I get in trouble and whatnot. But in terms of other things, it was more just probably asking like stupid questions, like when the chance was right, like obvious stupid questions that people would go, "Oh my gosh," or if it was like in PE or something, just just doing something stupid. I don't know.
Someone's got to do it, though. Someone's got to break the monotony and the tension of school because it's so boring. It is truly boring. The way shit's like presented, it's just so. It's one note, and then you have the people that are so uptight in class. Are like, I'm here to learn. I'm here. We're paying for this, which is all right. Chill out, man. 1 minute of our time won't. Whatever. I went to an all guys Catholic school here, right?
Yeah.
And we had this really old teacher, passed away now. Rest in peace, Brother Greenan. But one of the things we used to do with him to mess with him was that they would take prayer intentions, So they'd be like, all right, everyone, before we start class, what would you guys like to pray for? And there'd be 5 people, they'd raise their hands and be like, yes, yeah, you, moms. And we'd be like, I want to pray for, I would say, I'm praying for Jordy. And it's because he just has such bad knees. His knees are so weak. He keeps, he's absolutely blowing the games, and we really got to pray for his knees. And that would happen for literally the longest we did that, 20 fucking minutes. 20 minutes of like subtweet prayers of all jokes of just calling people ugly. Someone called him hammered. He was like, there's this disease he has. It's hammerditis. It's just so, and he's old enough that he's like, oh yeah, that's, we got to think about that. We got to pray for that. That's crazy. That's insane. But I like that. See, that's the thing. I vibe with the class clown because they're the most fun, man. They're the most fun.
Yeah.
And they break up the tensions there. So, you go through that. You go through, you're doing all the sports, this and that. Tell me about your friend group during that time. Did you have a tight knit friend group, or were you more of floating around different pockets?
I had a tight knit friend group throughout primary school.
Yeah.
I had like 4 friends there. It was like our little group. And then through intermediate, which is the years 7 to 8, So it's when I was 12, 13. I had like a smaller friend group. It usually got put on like who was in your class is who you would be friends with, because you had all the same, you shared all the same classes together. When you go to college, you share different classes with people.
Yeah.
So in primary, I had like 4 to 5 like tight group, and then in intermediate, I had like another 3 to 4 like tight group, and then when it went to college, I had like a group of like 10 who I am still like really good friends with now. That was like our tighter group there. And then I have like other pockets as well. Like I have like 3 different friend groups, like the main one, and then 2 like kind of side groups that will like occasionally ask me to come to things and whatnot like that. So yeah, I'm still really close with like all of the my college friend group, like the main one.
That's dope. That's dope. With
Yeah.
with the friends that you are closest with right now to this day, I know this is gonna come off as pretty broad, but how did you decide that these are the people that you wanted to fuck with? That this was the crew that you wanted to like invest your time, energy, and vulnerability with?
Cool. Good question. The first, let me grab another beer here. The first like kind of new friend, like I went into college only knowing like a few people, so I had a few friends there. So then the new a few of those friends are in my current like friend group now, but the new friends that I made in college, the first one that I made was probably my old flatmate Zuko. I met him in my hard tech class, and it was just, I don't even know what it was. It was just a bunch of stupid shit, like throwing sawdust at people, and like making little ninja shurikens and like throwing them at people, and just I just noticed that he was a bit of an idiot as well. And then one time, I think when we were like making some shit together, we were talking about things, and I realized that he shared like a common interest in like a few video games, and cars and such like that. So I was like, oh yeah, this guy's all right. And then kind of just became friends like that. But yeah, mostly just went for a bunch of the people that I became friends with. Like my whole friend group is very sporty, and all very like athletic. And they all, a good majority of them play video games as well. So kind of people like me, but just kind of less out there in a way.
Do they fuck with your stream?
I have a few. I have 4 friends that subscribe to my stream on recurring, and a few others will come in and beg for a gifted sub, and then leave, and then come back in another couple of months. But Zuko, Josh, Tom, my current flatmate, and Carp, 4 of them are all pretty much at like 30 months subbed.
Damn.
Tom being my longest.
There you go.
Yeah.
I never even got to ask you that with your family. Do your parents or your brothers ever stop by your stream?
My brothers both work together at the docks. So they work really late night, and sometimes when they wait for the ships to come in to unload them or tie them up, they'll turn my stream on and watch it with everyone in the office there. But they don't have an account. I don't know when they're watching. Sometimes they call me whilst I'm streaming, and they'll tell me that everyone's watching, and then it just gets hella awkward. But
yeah, what are you supposed to fucking do?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you act differently when your brothers are watching, or when you know those eyes are on you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, not too much. Like they know I'm an idiot as well, but some of the things will be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel that. So, all right, you're being a class clown. You're doing your shit in high school. Did you ever have that whole prom or formal or ball experience? Is that a thing that you did?
Yeah, they did it, one at intermediate and one at college. I went to the one at intermediate, but I never went to one at college.
And here in the States, it's such a big fucking deal. We get dressed in the nines. They make a night of it. What was your experience like?
Oh god, the intermediate one is the one that I went to.
Why did you? Oh god, what?
Oh, it's just so bad. It's like it's like the girls and guys will separate on one side each of like the ballroom and just sit there for like an hour, all standing around nervously
Yeah.
until like one of them will finally ask one of the girls to dance, and then as soon as one person does it, everyone else is like, "Oh, I'll go do it now."
We got it. Yeah.
And it's just like that dancing where like you hold their hips and then you go like one side and then the other, and then it's just like.
Were you
it's
the
just
guy that was the one that made the first stance, or did you wait until someone else did it?
It was. I think I arrived like pretty late.
Of course.
To the thing. Yeah, I'm always late to everything. I'm horrible time management.
No, you're fine. You're good.
And, even today I was a little late.
Not at all. You're just taking a shit. It's fine. I understand. You're the first one to ever do that, so that you're definitely gonna get the title for it. But when I write you in a book, but it's fine. It's good.
Yeah. And I wasn't nervous at all. Like I've always been relatively confident when it comes to any encounters with anyone, girls or guys, type thing. So I wasn't scared to ask her to dance, and then and yeah, that's not really a big thing in New Zealand like it is in
No.
America.
Damn. So then all that shit ends, and you get your diploma. Was college the next step, or did you want to take a year off, or what was going through your head once you graduated high school?
So the first thing that I did was I actually did like a pre course. Like it's hard to explain. I don't even know what it was. It's like a pre-trade skills thing in one of my hard tech classes that was like preparing to go straight into like work with it. So I already knew what I wanted to do before I was gonna leave. And then once I finished and I graduated and whatnot, I went into a building course with like 20 other guys and a qualified builder. And we built a house from start to finish in like 6 months, learning all the processes along the way. And then after that, I went into work as a laborer for 6 months. And then after that, I went into into my apprenticeship with a guy called James, way out, like an hour and a half drive. I worked with him for a year, but then he started taking jobs that were like 2-hour drives each way from home, and starting at 6-7 in the morning. I was getting up at like 4 or 5 trying to get there on time, and it just wasn't very pretty, so I had to leave him and then find another guy to carry my apprenticeship on with, which I did for like another year. But yeah, I knew what I wanted to do when I left school. The hard tech was the class that like I would flawlessly I'd get. We had like our grading system over here, so you would either get a not achieved or a fail, and then you get an achieved, a merit, or an excellence. And that was like the only class other than like math in the earlier years and graphics that I would get like straight E's in with no stress whatsoever. So I knew that was what I was good at and what I wanted to do, and I pretty much went straight from school into working with that.
And so, and how did you even get interested in that? What was it that was like, oh, this is what I want to do?
Pretty. I don't actually know. Hey, I think one of the main thing is in your first year at college, they get everyone to do. They make like a bunch of. The first thing that you did was make a little box, a box with 2 hinges on it, and you'd have to make a certain type of joint to get everything in. And I remember the teacher was giving out a prize for the best box that the student made, and that happened to be my one, and I got the prize from that. So that was when I kind of realized I was like, oh, all these guys suck at this, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing, and then the next thing after that was they had a bunch of welders there, spot welds, and also gas and welding.
Yeah.
And when he was first showing us how to use the rod and to weld this little metal box together, nobody wanted to do it because everyone was scared of fucking up, or if you hold it for too long, it'd like explode. And then I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. And then I did it. And he's like, oh, have you welded before? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, well, that's pretty much a perfect weld. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of realized that from earlier on that I was a little bit better than everyone else there, and I enjoyed doing it. And I was always had that thought in my mind that if you enjoy doing something, then you won't think of it as a job later on. So I was like, oh yeah, maybe I want to do this as a job later on.
And I like that, like what I'm hearing from your story or from that experience is like, many people are driven by money. They're driven by what is the most lucrative job I can do, and I'm going to pursue that at all costs. But for you, what I'm hearing is it's a balance of, without sucking your fucking dick saying it, natural talent, as well as like being like, all right, yeah, this is something I could do. Like that's such a level-headed way of thinking about what you want to do in terms of work or a vocation. I've literally worked in admissions at a college, and parents, kids, they're all stressing out. They're like, "Oh, my mom wants me to study becoming a nurse or a doctor, but I want to be a theater kid or whatever." And it's all those in betweens where it's just like, trying to find the middle ground of what are you truly good at and how you can monetize that and create a life for yourself. So that's awesome that you did that.
I also didn't have any like pressure from my parents to pick anything like that, because both of my brothers after college carried on working in the kitchen that we all worked in. Me and both of my brothers worked in a kitchen, so that was probably another factor to it, is that neither of them had gone straight out of school into a job. They just carried on working at the job that they had while they were at school. Because I said I was working from when I was 15, and so were both of my brothers.
I see that.
So there was no real like pressure or stress on getting into a job straight away, because we could carry on working in the kitchen that we did already work at. But yeah.
Nice. We'll move on here towards the next segment, which is about your work history, what you've done in jobs. But here's the thing, all right? I do want to appease one person, all right? I notice you're drinking by yourself, all right? And I would feel bad. I would feel bad if you're the only one. I'll go grab a beer, all right? And we can meet this, all right? So I'll be right back. Give me 1 more minute. You go fuck with the chat in a bit, all right? I'll be right back.
Booga booga, smork. Hi guys, just drinking by myself here. Get him to Vorticky with me. Oh, maybe I will. Oh, he won't. Oh, he might do it. It depends what he comes back with. If he comes back with a can, he's not be able to do it. I'll do a Vorticky mid through when he's asking a question, and I'll see if he notices anything. Enzo. I'll just do it while she's asking the question, and then we'll go from there. Should come forward. Yep, that's the one, Ollie. What's happening? Nothing, Cuckles. It feels like I'm streaming now. I'm just reading chat. I'm happy to see you guys all here, though. Smiles in the chat, guys. Smiles, please. Thank you. No, Rage, turn that frown upside down. I know you're no longer with Serena, but you have to turn that frown upside down, all right? It's going to get better, man. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Jordy. Proud of you. Oh, thanks, Violet. Okay, dude. This man fridge down the road? Yeah, he's trying to find a beer. How's who, sorry? I don't know. That word's blocked out, Rage. I don't actually know that one. That's weird.
That's it. It's been a while. I don't drink too much, all right? I'm usually more of a salads kind of guy, if you catch my drift. So this is off brand. This is usually my Mondays. But all right, Mr. Jordy, let's get into your.
What is it? Tell me the beer.
You're gonna hate it, man. This is a shock top, man. This is a Belgian white. All right, something easy on the stomach. All right, I can't.
Oh, what a Belgian? Did you say wine?
A white? No.
Oh.
It's a Belgian white. It's something. It's clean. It's easy to digest. I used to mess with well, it's the winter time, so a lot of people mess with stouts. I do love those, but those are heavy. Those are really chocolatey, thick, whatever. I can't do IPAs, man. I'm
I
done.
don't like. I'm pretty much straight lager. That's it.
Oh no way, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. My best
Yeah.
friend does the same thing. I actually same with Hefeweizens. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of it before, but no, not really.
It's pretty. Again, I go for the ones that are just the easiest you could drink in quantity. I can't do IPAs. That's an instant hangover. That's an instant hangover and probably diarrhea the next morning. And it's just over. It's over. It's over. Water. Okay, these guys. Oh, we got so many big man here. We got a lot of big people in the chat here. No, but again, I hang it up right here. I have a bottle of gin. That's usually what I'd go with. That's my go-to. In hindsight, I should have just gotten ice. But I said, all right, I'll have one beer, and then maybe later, if the questions again, guys, exclamation mark Q in the chat if you have any questions for Mr. Jordyx3 here.
You're gonna get some stupid questions in there. I can already see it.
You know what? It's not for me. I just go through it. All right, you can answer it if you want or not. I'm just here as to facilitate that. But let's ask about your work history here. All right, how many jobs have you had in total?
4 if you count streaming as a job.
Okay, yeah, and we'll get to that. All right, so let's do this chronologically then. What was your very first job?
My first job was a kitchen hand. A day after my 15th birthday, my dad used to own a pub. And one day he said, it was the day after my birthday, after I turned 15. He said that he needed me to help out with some filing and some paperwork, and I was like, "Oh, all right." We show up to the pub. It was quite a big one. It had a function center, and you could just seat 200 people. It had 10, 15 people in the kitchen. It was a pretty decent size place.
Yeah.
And we walk down to the kitchen, and he says hi to everyone, and then he hands me an apron and says, "All right, get to work." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then he pretty much just told me that I was going to be a kitchen hand. He didn't need me for any filing work, and then I started my first day as a kitchen hand. I pretty much just cleaned.
Yeah.
I learned how to clean mussels for the first day, and I ended up getting sick, which is a little bit of a funny story. The smell of the mussels after working with them for so long, all the fishy smell, and the lack of food and drink that I'd had prior to coming, because I didn't think I was going to be working, ended up making me sick. And I went home a couple hours later on my first day, which I didn't even know was going to be my first day. And I worked in the kitchen for 4 years.
Wow.
From the day after I turned 15 until I was 19, I was working in the kitchen.
And what are some cool things you've learned in the kitchen? I think that's a really in the moment it must be tough, but looking back, it's oh, nice. There's a lot of skill sets that could be acquired through it.
Yeah. The main things that I learned was how to do the dishes fast and effectively, how to do multiple things at the same time. I used to run the deep fries as well. So I learned how to. I probably cleaned about over 1,000 deep fryers in my time here. So if you ever have a deep fryer and you need any help, let me know.
You got it. First person I'll fucking call.
I learned how to turn it all on, fix them all, and do it, clean them properly, and how they all work and whatnot. So anything to do with deep frying, I learned a lot about. I learned how to peel pretty much any vegetable fast and efficiently. How to chop and size up different types of not expensive meats, but just cheap stuff. Just everything, man. You learn heaps in the kitchen. It's probably one of the best jobs. You know how to work under pressure, how to work fast. And learn how to peel a bucket of potatoes in 10 minutes.
Oh gosh, yeah. What's the all right? What's the meal? If you're trying to impress someone, what's the meal you making?
That I'm making.
Yeah.
That's a good question, actually. I don't make too many things that are very difficult to make. And honestly, I wouldn't want someone that would eat lots of fancy food. If I had to make someone, like if someone was coming over and I wanted to impress them for something to eat, honestly, I'd want someone that wouldn't care what they were eating, and I'd probably make something like. I'd have two options, two that I can be really good at. The first one is enchiladas.
Ooh, yeah.
Um, that would be the first one that you can kind of go a little bit bougie on. The second one would be maybe lasagna. I'd use my mom's recipe. She makes a really good lasagna. And then the third one would probably be bacon and eggs. I make a top-notch bacon and eggs. I know that's a bit of a breakfast food, but yeah, you can eat it anytime.
Yeah, it's true. That's nice. That's a classic.
Yeah,
But I do
or
love
just
a
go
good
get
lasagna.
some Macca's, maybe a Big Mac Hunger Buster. That'll
This
do.
person, I feel like these are a lot of subtweets there. Anyway, so there. Hey, listen. I'm one beer. I can see it. I see it. All right, I see it. The parallels of storylines there. So you go through that experience, which honestly, really dope. Like that's one of the places. Like I've always in my heart, I was like, man, I need a friend in the restaurant industry. Like I need someone who's actually been there, done that, who's been in the kitchen, who knows the way around there. Because I just, as a thick boy, I love to eat. I also love someone who I also cook myself. So I'm like, there needs to be that camaraderie in the kitchen. So you did that until you were 19. You did that for 4 years, and then what? What happened?
I did my carpentry course whilst I was still working. So when I was 19, I used to wake up at about 7, and I'd go to my course at 8. I'd drive out to my course, which is like 20 minutes away, and then the whole day I'd spend learning and building the house that the group was doing, and then I would come back from there at about 4:30, and I'd start work at about 5, and then I'd go from 5 till closing, which was about depending on what day it was, either 11 to like 1 a.m. And then I'd work that, and then I would repeat for the week, and then on Saturdays and Sundays I would work in the mornings. So I was kind of doing like 2 jobs at once at one stage.
Yeah.
And then after I finished that course, I went straight into a laboring job where I was doing that job, and then I would go from that job, I would go back to doing work in the kitchen again. Eventually until I started my apprenticeship, where I was working from like 7 to 5 or so, and I just didn't have time, and I was too exhausted to carry on with my job, because I was still maintaining streaming and the times between all this as well.
Yeah.
So I was very busy from the ages of like 18 to like 21, I guess you could say. I had very little time. I used to survive on about 3 hours sleep or
Jesus.
so.
How
about
are
2
you
years.
how do you balance that? Especially without the burnout.
Honestly, I had about 3 energy drinks per day. And I used to when I was driving to and from work, because obviously it was like an hour's drive, 2 hours drive each way, I used to sometimes fall asleep behind the wheel. That's how tired I was. So that was very dangerous.
Yeah.
Even when I was like even when I knew I was tired, I was so exhausted that I couldn't keep myself awake no matter what I did. I used to have both of the windows down on the motorway. I'd have the aircon full blow on my face, like ice cold air, and I had music on full volume, and I would still like fall asleep. Like it was not good at all.
Jesus. Was there any point where you burnt out completely? Where you just was like, I need to walk away from something?
There wasn't really any turning point with it. Anybody that's been in my stream since the H1 days will know that I used to survive on like 3 to 4 hours sleep a night for about 2 years. There wasn't any like stage where I said, hey, I need to stop doing this and do that. I kind of always just told myself, hey, just like soldier on, just get your head in the game, like go hard type thing.
Damn.
But
So then you go from there, you go through your apprenticeship, and what was that next step then?
So I didn't end up finishing my apprenticeship. I got through 2.5 years of it, and you need about 3.5 to 4.5 to finish it and get qualified. It was It's the second year of my apprenticeship, near the start of it, where I got an email where my streams were doing quite well, and I was working at a new job that wasn't so far away, so I had an extra like 2 hours during the day to sleep or stream or whatnot, so I had a bit more time to play with.
Hmm.
And I had a new job where my boss was very lenient on me as well. Where some days I would just get a random day off because there wouldn't be any work to do, and then other days he'd let me go home early. So I had a lot more time that I would give me a lot more energy and a lot more time to put into my stream, a lot more sleeping hours as well. And my stream started doing a little bit better during my second year of my apprenticeship. This was about halfway through when Fortnite came out, and this is when I started to average about 100 or so viewers again. I got an email one day whilst I was at work. I was actually checking it during my lunch break, and it had it was a guy called Lewert at Team Liquid, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I click on it, and it's all very like professional, and it's all like the right email addresses, and it was actually a guy from Team Liquid, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I read through it all, and they pretty much said that they were starting up this little like agency type thing called Liquid Media, that they wanted to take me on as one of their streamers and pay me for streaming. And I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is insane! Like this is what I want to do."
Yeah.
And then I read through the contract and all that, and it was 150 hours per month was the minimum that I needed to stream. And I was like, shit, I was part-time streaming pretty much at that stage.
Yeah.
And I was doing about 90 hours a month, and that was already pretty maxed out. I was like, maybe if it was like 100 or 110 hours, then I could do it. But 150, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to stream for at least 5 hours every single day on top of working a job where I sleep for 3 to 4 hours. Like that's going to be near impossible. So I after I got that email, I thought about it for a very long time, and I was thinking there's only one way that I can accept this offer and really go for it, and that's if I quit this job and then just put my all into the streaming. I knew if I quit my job, I could easily do like 6-hour days and get 180 hours a month, or even closer to 200. Like that would all be easy, and that was the only requirement for the contract with them, and they would be paying me to stream. So I was like, I'm going to have a guaranteed income. I already have like a pretty well stream that's doing pretty well, and I obviously have all this money saved up in the bank from when I was 15, when I was working, to fall back on if things go to shit. So then the next couple of weeks, I was asking all the contractors and and my boss and all that. I was telling them all about this offer that I had to go full time into streaming, and they pretty much all said, "Hey, look, if you want to do it, go for it." They're all real supportive of it. They're like, "If it doesn't go well and you wanna come back and you want to work for us, I'm more than happy to take you on." They gave me all their numbers and all their info and all that, and they're like, "Just go for it." So then I put my 2 weeks notice in with my boss, and I said, "Fuck it." And I took the plunge, and now here we are 2 years and 4 months later.
Are you still with them?
I'm not with Liquid anymore. Their contract expired at the end of the year, so I'm no longer getting paid to full-time stream, although my stream has grown a lot since then.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the next part of that.
Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to mention with it too was shit, I just forgot. Is that when I put my 2 weeks notice in with my boss, I didn't tell stream, but I actually was working for about another week whilst I was full-time streaming, or quote unquote full-time, because we had a job to finish, and I felt bad for leaving him half on this job, because he was quite an old guy. He was like 65 or something. And I felt a little bit bad for leaving him there to finish the job off by himself. So I actually worked for a couple extra days after I went full time to finish off that job for him, because I felt like I just kind of left him
Yeah.
And he treated me good, so I thought I'd repay the favor.
That's business 101 though. You never leave the place of work worse than how you saw it. You know, you want to be able
Yeah.
to have those relationships and be respectful, man. That's awesome. I never that's a really good to know. Like that's a cool thing to share too specifically. I
Yeah.
know for some they're like, or maybe some won't even be willing to share that because they're like, it's cringy, or maybe it makes me sound a certain way. But like a lot of people that are younger, you know, we're especially if they don't have a good job, like if they have a job they don't like, so quick to be like, man, fuck the boss, fuck the, you know, I'm out of here, I'm gonna do my
Yeah.
own thing. But even so, you know,
it wasn't like that with
Hey.
with my boss. It was the opposite. I quite enjoyed having him as a boss. There'd be days where he'd come in. Sorry for interrupting. Where he'd come in and he'd be in a good mood and he'd buy a bunch of like pies from down the road or something
Yeah.
and give it to all of us. Or
Yeah.
you know, he would come in on like a Friday with a couple boxes of beers and
Yeah.
you know, we'd all have a few drinks before we went home. And you know, he was very good. There was times where he would be an absolute prick about it, but then later on he'd know that he was a prick about it, and it was just everyone knew that was just like the stress of the job and getting things
Yeah.
done on time that was like getting to him. So
Sure.
afterwards it was always good. And then there'd be days like where I would like show up late and I'd just be like, yeah, sorry, like I'm just so tired recently. And he's like, well, you know what? He's like, just tomorrow, he's like, just sleep in for a couple extra hours and then come in when you feel like it. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So there'd be days like that where like, you know, if
Wow.
he saw that I was like, you know, exhausted, because he knew that I did this thing on the side as well, because the other people that I worked with told him about it. So yeah, he was quite supportive with it all.
That's
and
awesome,
so
dude.
that was good. Yeah.
That's, you know, that's what separates like a good manager, a good boss, is someone who can show empathy and have that kind of
Yeah.
flexibility and range. That's huge. You won't hear that kind of shit in nowadays, you know, with everything being so corporate and so like, you know, tight in terms of execution. They're gonna be like, no, you have to be, if we're paying you this and that, and it just gets so muddy. But for that guy to both empathize with your situation as well as support you, and look, you know, seeing where you are now, I mean, that's huge. Those are little moments in your life that really build up to where you are now. So then you take on this thing of streaming, all right, and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I'm giving it my go. I'm giving it all my all. I want this to be a full-time gig. I want it to be a big part of my life. For those that want that same dream, Jordy, what advice would you give to them?
Stay consistent, stay focused, and constantly try to better yourself with what you're doing. Think of ways of how you can improve. And the one thing that I tell people that come in and be like, oh, because I get asked that question quite a few times. The one
Sure.
thing that I tell people, they're like, oh, how did you go full-time streaming? Like, I used to watch you when you worked and all that stuff. And then they'll be like, what do you do now that you're a full-time streamer? And I was like, think of your top 3 favorite streamers and then think about why you watch them. Whether it be they're funny at the game, funny with what they do, they're good at the game, or they got good chat interactivity type stuff. And I was like, then don't copy them, but implement that into your own stream, and then you go from there. And then work on your not your talents, but like the things that people are coming in for. Like with it, if for my instances, I'm not too great at reading my chat because I am focused on my game quite a bit of the time. So I focus on my gameplay, and then I'll focus on being funny. So I cut like 2 out of the 3 things for it.
Yeah.
If you're not too good at the games, then focus on your interactivity with the chat, and then focus on being funny. And then if you are good at the games but you're not funny, then focus on reading the chat and being good at the game. So kind of just like I class those as like the 3 main things with streaming. But yeah, that's pretty much what I tell people.
If I can ask you about one more thing about streaming, this is now I've gone off the script and been like, man, fuck it, let me ask you about this shit. How do you deal with the mental health aspect of it? I feel like that's a very hot topic nowadays, and whether it be burnout or just, you know, the monotony or whatever, how do you deal, or even those that obsess with the numbers, how do you deal with all the mental health issues that surround streaming?
I mean, I've been streaming for a very long time, and because I've already gone through all the ups and downs, if there's a day where I don't have like good viewers, then I just kind of just carry on doing my own thing, and for the people that are there, they'll have a good time. And then if I am in a day where I'm doing really good, then yeah, awesome, I'm doing very good. I just, yeah, because I've been in it for so long, I know there's gonna be those days that are absolute shit, and I know there's those
Mhm.
days that are gonna be really good, and you just kind of just have to pass by them. That's the same with any job. You're gonna have days where you have a shit day at work, and you're gonna have
Yeah.
like days where you're gonna have a really good day at work.
Mhm.
If there's a day that's not going too bad, I'll try my best to try and make it into a good one, but that doesn't always work. One of the main things that I find helps a lot, sounds kind of cliche, but is having a clean environment and having a clean mindset will put you in a way better mood, and you won't have anything going through your head or worrying about whilst you're streaming, and then that'll lead to a good stream.
I understood you when you said clean environment, clean room,
Yeah.
clean desk, that and out. But what do you mean by
Yeah.
clean mindset?
So not having anything that bothers you whilst you're, so like right now, if I had to tell you the things that were going on behind the stream, is that I have 2 computers to rebuild, and I'm waiting on a bunch of packages, so that's a little bit of a worry in my head. I have to return this t-shirt that was too small for me. I then have to go, I'll have to go pay my rent, I'll have to go to the gym, I have to go shopping, I have some mates coming down soon, so all of this stuff is kind of in like the back of my head right now, and I need to get it sorted, but I haven't got it sorted. So I know that whilst I'm streaming, some of that stuff's like gonna pop up, or I'm gonna get reminded that I have to do that, and then
Yeah.
that's not a clean mindset where I'm fully focused on my streaming.
That's fucking fascinating. I love that. No, I agree with you 100%. But I just wanted to make sure verbatim I understood what you were getting at. That's so awesome. Yeah, I agree with you completely. I throw my phone away. I can't handle it because if that shit rings, if I see a notification, it's over. So I like to be able to just focus on you. I like that a lot. Here's the thing,
Yeah.
Jordan, right? We've gone through your work history. Okay. But which, by the way, do you have to use the restroom at all?
No.
Okay.
I haven't broken my seal yet.
Okay.
We didn't go through all of it. I did laboring for 6 months as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we got
forgot
to
mention-
streaming.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot to mention that I did laboring for 6 months, which is kind of like what all tradies will do prior to jumping into the trade that they're actually doing. And that was just hell. That was horrible.
What does that encompass?
Was,
Laboring, what does that mean?
laboring. So the first job that I got put onto was at an old church. So in Wellington, we get a lot of earthquakes. And at the time, we had quite a big earthquake where this old church got heavily damaged. And they were strengthening the church and repairing the roof and all the guttering and all that type of stuff. And the laboring job that I had there was to pretty much the whole day I was just filling skip bins with a bunch of timber, concrete, plastic, and I'd separate the copper because it could be reused into another bin and do all that stuff. It was pretty much just all lifting and moving stuff for the whole day and shoveling pretty much shit. And I did that for 6 months, but they recommend that all like tradies do that for the first little bit to understand that that's the potential workload that you could have whilst doing this job. And I put on a lot of muscle and a lot of weight. I put on like probably about 5 kgs worth of weight whilst I was doing that. So if anyone's in chat that wants to put on a lot of muscle and weight and wants to work hard and sweat off all their fat, definitely get a laboring job.
That's sick. Oh my goodness. And so,
yeah.
wait, you went from working for that 65-year-old man to the laboring job and also streaming?
Okay, so in order, I missed this out. In order, I started off in the kitchen till I was 19, and I was doing my course whilst I was 19. Then when I was 19 to 20, I did that 6 months of laboring, and then from 20 to 21 and a half or so, 22, I was doing my apprenticeship.
Gotcha. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Of all those jobs, which one has taught you the most?
Probably the kitchen hand job.
Yeah.
You learn a lot there. I learned more in the carpentry. Like I know what goes into building a house from start to finish, but that's just one thing. In the kitchen, you learn all about the food, the time management, doing things efficiently, and that type of stuff. A little bit better. Working under, you work under pressure in both jobs, but I'd say more so in the kitchen, under like certain environments as well. Like I had, there was a one time where the extraction broke in the kitchen, and we had 65-degree temperatures. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. 65 degrees Celsius, which let me just
What is
quickly
that conversion?
65 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Calculations. Here it
Is
comes.
149 Fahrenheit.
Oof.
Is what we were working on in the kitchen for about an hour.
Jesus.
We all had like, I think it was even illegal to be running the kitchen at that time because you have to have it under a certain temperature. But everybody was
You chugging
had
water?
like ice towels on their head, and it was just ice cold water everywhere, and it was just horrible. So yeah, you definitely work under some conditions in that. Pretty much the majority of the temperature in the kitchen anyway is about 35 to 40 degrees, which is like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Like it's always really hot in there, always uncomfortable. But yeah.
Yeah, you've really earned your stripes. You've really gone through the ringer. So it must feel well, honestly, like for me, it's the 9-to-5ers. So I've done that bullshit. But when I hear people work, especially labor jobs and all this intense environments, then streaming must be more of a breeze. It must be like you're able to. Yeah.
I don't. When people ask me about streaming, I don't say this isn't a job. This is a hobby. Like. A lot of the one thing that kind of annoys me with things is when people go into streaming without having a job and then complain about how it's so hard.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you.
There's only one thing that may be difficult for some people with it, and that's the mental side of things. There is no physical strain on you sitting down in a chair all day doing.
My ass hurts, maybe.
Yeah, you got a sore ass. That's the only problem. People that complain. I see people complaining about it on Twitter, and it grinds my gears.
I 100%. Again, being older in the game, you know, I'm not too old, but you know, being 27, I see these kids and they're fucking, you know, I respect the grind. I can respect the long hours. I can respect the 12 hours. I'm also a very big believer in working smarter, not harder. All right. So, you know, it's being able to fine tune all your shit. But I 100% agree with that. They're just like, this is the fucking brutalist thing. I was like, have you ever worked on 9 to 5? Like, just even waking up early sucks compared to going live and figuring out what the fuck we're doing here. But I feel that. I feel that a lot. You're probably the only person that's willing to say that shit here. I haven't heard that at all yet. That's good stuff.
The other thing that annoys me as well is when the Fortnite kids will win thousands of dollars from playing at home at a tournament and then complain about having lag or something like that. And it's like back in 2017, I traveled all the way over to Atlanta to play in a tournament that had a prize pool of $25,000, and these kids are complaining about winning 5,000s from sitting home on a Friday night playing from the comfort of their own chair, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, the mom's making them tater tots and shit. How?
Yeah.
Let me one more question about that all, and we can get into that and get into the last segment of your life story. But you know, you are playing these games. You're playing, especially Fortnite, and that's known to have a younger demographic. You know, people that
not so much Fortnite anymore, but yes, I did play a lot of Fortnite. Yeah.
Well, back in the heyday, it was a younger, you know, a very young demographic, as well as even Minecraft. How do you manage, you know, when a kid comes on stream and you know who you are, you know, you let loose, you're drinking, you're talking shit, whatever, and a kid comes on stream, how do you manage that kind of relationship?
It depends on the kid. Majority of my viewer base is probably around the age of like 16 to like 30. Like I kind of have a bit of an older viewer base than good majority of other streamers, especially that have come from Fortnite.
Yeah.
If there's a kid in there and he's been annoying, I'll just tell him straight up. I don't care how old he is. Like, if he comes in and says something stupid, then I'll tell him to get stuffed. You know, like
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. What's going on here?
yeah, if he's old enough to be on the computer and join in my stream and talk some shit to me, then he's old enough to cop shit back from me. So that's
You're not wrong. Amen. No. Let that be a notice. You're on fucking notice, kids. All right. We're tired of your shit here on Twitch. All right. We've had enough. We've had a fucking enough. Oh man. I'll be honest with you. I haven't eaten dinner and we're ready to start drinking, man. I'll get the gin later. But my man, all right. You've done the work shit. Wow, this is very unprofessional. All right. Usually I've never drank doing this show. I'll be honest with you. All right, Jordy. I'm very professional. I keep my shit straight. But you're one of the few that has drank on this show. So I felt bad. I was like, you don't let the man drink alone.
I told you I was gonna be drinking.
I should have known that. You're right. I should have known that.
Yeah, we're only on our 4th beer. That's all right.
Wow. Completely loosened up. We don't even know we're streaming anymore.
Yeah.
the last topic here, all right. This is the one that I know is gonna perk some ears. It's the most salacious of the life stories when it's about your romantic relationships. All right.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So I know this is the one. Really, all the other things were bullshit. All right. This everything. Oh, so how's your work? You're like, tell me about your school. You think people fucking care? No, I'm joking. But we're getting into the one where I know. Again, I know the they're adding her already. All right. But let me take a step back. All right. How many relationships have you had in total? Meaningful ones. I'm talking about dating. All right. We don't got to get into all the other stuff.
All right. Two proper ones.
2 proper ones.
Yeah. Right. Probably like 4 in total, but like 2 proper ones.
And again, my man, all right, I'll give you one more out when I say this, all right? If there's anything
I don't care to talk about any of it, it's all fine.
You about to get me to get the bottle of gin if that's the case, my man, all right? This is I'm treading lightly, all right? I'm treading lightly. Yeah. I'm Walter White here. I'm trying my best to you know, I got you, all right? I've been around with enough boys where I'm like, all right, you never sell them out. So let's start about the first one, all right? The first ex you had. How old were you, and how did that start?
I was 19, and it started through Twitch, actually.
Oh, no way.
I can't even remember how we met. It was quite a long time ago now, obviously. But yeah, it started on Twitch, and then from there it went on for about 6 months, and it was all pretty good. But then there was an issue with distance, because they lived in New Zealand and so do I, but they lived at like the top of New Zealand and I live at like the bottom of the North Island. So it was like a 7-hour drive if I wanted to go there. So we usually used to meet halfway through, but then they wanted to do some study on the bottom of the South Island, which would have been like 10 hours plus for me to get to if I wanted to. So then that kind of ended because of that reason there. But yeah, it was
purely because of distance.
Yeah, there was no like issues with any of that stuff. It wasn't, I didn't really get the feeling that like that was the one, but like I wouldn't say that there was any like bad times with it. It was all pretty good times.
What got you there then? What got you to be like, you know, I'm even gonna give this person attention?
That's a good question, honestly. Is it bad if I say I don't know?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I don't know. It was kind of like the first proper person that had like shown a little bit of extra interest, if that makes sense. Obviously there was girls in the past that had shown interest, but like this one showed a little bit more interest in it, and then it just kind of went on from there, and we went and saw each other and it was all good. And then the distancing came, they wanted to study, and I was I was still working at the time because I was 19. And then I went full time when we pretty much ended. So yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah.
Mr. Jordy, if I may, one moment, please. Miss Brit
Yeah.
Balls, thank you so much for the $26 million raid over here. Hello, hello. But today, let me tell you this. Today, right now, we are speaking to Mr. Jordyx3. We are speaking to Mr. Jordyx3's life story. And guys, you came in at the perfect time, all right? We are talking about his romantic history, all right? We get into the heart of the matter. Brit, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that raid. I hope you've been very well, man. I saw you on Monday. I know you are well, but hopefully not too much has changed in the past 2 days. But Mr. Jordy, all right, we're getting into the heart of the matter, literally your heart of the matter. And you're like, you don't know why it just worked that way. Actually, that's a commonality. A lot of people ask about, I'm trying okay, Jordy, can I level with you? Can I level you right now? All right.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten all day. And this one beer is already doing a number on me, okay? And but I will keep drinking. I will keep drinking at some point. But
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you this: a few things that I see pop up underneath this chat. All right, if I may, I need to inform you. Some people are telling me the question you didn't answer. The stuff that they're saying is it's because of her ass. Because she got big mommy milkers is the one that really got me out of it. Like I tried not to laugh. I moved away from the mic because I'm trying not to laugh. The term "big mommy milkers" is one of my favorite. Like it has turned into one of my favorite lines. Fuck! I like legitimately. I turned away. You were trying to spill your soul, my man, and I'm so sad. I'm so sorry. I usually can keep a straight face, but that one thing got to me. But so
Honestly, no, there was we were talking about the first girlfriend here. There was
Yeah.
she had a little bit of both, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to say like, oh, she had some big mummy milkers. Like,
did you ever
it wasn't-
did you ever link up in person, or was this mainly like the distance thing?
Oh yeah, no, we used to meet up halfway through.
Yeah.
So she used to drive like 3.5 hours, and then I drive the other 3.5, and then that was that.
Yeah.
But
Damn. So and I assume what was it you that had to cut it off and say like the distance is just not working?
yeah, pretty much. So like the way that it happened was that had been talked about, and then we kind of like went on a break at first to see if we really kind of, I guess you could say, like wanted each other.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, there's like this New Zealand music festival called R&V, which is like the biggest festival that New Zealand has with like international artists. And then I saw her there, and this was whilst we were on our like little break thing. And then I had saw that when I was with her there, I saw that she had Tinder and had all these dudes messaging her, and I was like, oh, okay. So that kind of tipped the line over where it was like it wasn't meant to. She didn't want anything more than that.
Mhm.
So then that was that.
Was that
And
okay
then
with you though? Were you emotionally
Yeah, no, that was all fine. That was all sweet as. It was as I said, it was already on the break and it wasn't gonna work, and she lived so far away. It was just kind of shit as it was. So yeah,
True.
when I
Okay.
saw that, it was all crap. But yeah,
I feel
it's
it.
all right.
So you go off that shit, I assume she don't stop by the stream as often or anymore. And who's this next individual?
Oh fuck! This is what everyone in chat's waiting for.
What's going on, my man? What's going on? Just drink the beer. Just drink the beer, my man. It's okay. It's okay. You can drink your beer.
Yeah, no, the next one's not a goodie, eh? It's
Not a goodie.
I don't even know where to start for the second one.
How'd you meet? Let's start with that. How'd you meet?
How did we meet? I got a Twitter DM one day from them saying that I had a lot of potential as a streamer, and that they wanted to help me out on my Twitch channel and on my YouTube specifically. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really know of them back then. Like I'd heard of them a few times and whatnot. And then it was kind of just from there, kind of from that message that we started talking a little bit more, and then ended up like playing a few games together. And then a couple months later, they had a Australian Open, which was like the Fortnite tournament. Um, and I was chosen as one of the players to go and qualify over there for the Fortnite
Okay.
tournament.
Okay.
And I qualified and got to the final round. And then it was at that tournament where, oh god, do I get into the details here?
I mean, as much as you're willing to share, I'm willing to listen. Don't hey.
I didn't really think anything of it there, but they were following me around a lot at the tournament and hanging out with like my little group and
Okay.
that at the tournament, and then invited me back to her place to get changed or something like that. I can't even remember what the reason was, and then they ended up kissing me, and I was going, oh, okay. I kind of just let it happen, because obviously didn't want to make things super awkward if I like pulled away type thing.
Wow.
And then it kind of just sparked on from that.
And when
Yeah.
okay, and when you say when, when you say sparked on from there, what do we insinuate? Are we this man got an epic Fortnite battle royale win, or what do when you say sparked on from there? What is
No.
this?
It didn't spark on that night. It didn't spark on that night. There was
Chivalry's not dead. All right.
it was only the kiss that night. It was that was when things became a little bit more serious after that. It was like the next day I was hanging out, and then was like when we were watching like other people play and at the like casino, and that was like leaning up on me and like very clearly like flirting and like wanting to do more. And at that time I was just focused on my gambling. I ended up winning like $5,500 at the casino at that stage, and I was having a great time.
Damn, hell yeah, dude. Wait, what's
and,
your game? What's your game at the casino? I'm sorry.
I was just playing roulette at that on that day. It was just
Okay. Good
I was
shit,
just
good shit.
walking around the tables, chucking 100 or 200 on black or red, and then just
Yeah.
getting lucky, really.
Hell yeah.
And then that was that. And the people that I was staying, she was staying with her brother, and I was staying with all of my mates that were there. And then on the way home to the airport, she was really like sad and all that stuff, and was telling me all this shit. And then went home, and then from there it was just like more talking and such. And then it just somehow, I never ever asked her to be my girlfriend, and she didn't ask me to be her boyfriend. It kind of just like happened. I feel like that's how most relationships just happen nowadays. It's just kind of, nobody really asks anymore. It just kind of happens.
You what was it about her? What was it about her that got you interested?
Let me just tell you something before
Go
we
ahead.
get into all of this
Hey.
other stuff. Is that this was probably the worst relationship that I'll ever be in my whole entire life, and probably the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
Well,
should I get a drink for this shit, or is this a
yeah, if you want. I kind of need to take a piss, so if you
Deal.
want to get a drink, and I'll go take a piss, and
Fair
then
play. Let's do it then. All right, and then we'll leave them on a cliffhanger. We'll be right back. Give me 1 minute. time away too. This is an issue, guys. We're gonna get to the heart of the matter tonight. All right. We're gonna get to the heart of the matter tonight. This is an. I'm a can of worms. I'm sorry. This is. I needed a little bit of entertainment juice to keep up. All right. He was on another level. That was some good stuff. Getting a real interesting story. I mean, it all culminates to where we're at. Need a snack?
All
Eat
right.
yourself. What's up? All right. So, all right. You mentioned this being your worst relationship. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Why is that?
Yes. I feel like it'd be easier if I kind of ease into it so people understand it a little bit more. But I also don't really want to talk about it too much. But
Of course.
for the sake of the for the podcast and everybody wondering, so everything was sweet as to like start off with. It was a good time. And everything felt like really good and really natural and all that. And then it was probably about 6 months in, kind of where we had like the first little like fight type thing.
Oh man.
And it wasn't bad or anything. I can't even remember what it was over, but it was just kind of me realizing like, oh shit, like I hadn't seen this side of them prior to the last 6 months. And I was like, it's a little bit worrying with like some of the things here, but I'll kind of leave it as like a one-off type thing. And the things that were like a little bit worrying was just like a huge amount of spam calls and spam texts and like just a bunch of trust issues, pretty much like all that type of stuff. And I was a little bit wary of it. But I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a bad time, or like, just brush it off. And then that stuff carried on happening like every couple of weeks for like the next several months on that type of thing. And it would get to the stage where I would just get accused of doing all this like stuff. And I'd get called like, I'm talking like 100, and I have a screenshot of 160 missed calls in a row. Like they were at that stage there. And all that. And it was really bad. And I'm like really, really relaxed with everything. You can ask my stream and all that.
Sure.
I'm very just go with the flow, just relax, and just very like the thing we say in New Zealand is very lacked, which is like relaxed, as we call it, lacked. And I didn't want anything like that. And because me being like that probably didn't help this situation, because I'd just be like, yo, let me play my games, or yo, just leave me alone for a bit type thing.
Yeah.
And then that would make them think that, oh, he's fucking cheating on me, or rah, something like that. And then that was the whole relationship was about 1.5 years.
Wow.
And the last 6 months is when things started really getting iffy. I helped her move into her new apartment that she'd bought, and set up everything over there. And I was staying with her over in Australia. I'd put everything on hold back here and went over there, built a PC, and was streaming from there, living with her, helping her move in and all that stuff. And then there was just lots of small things that had happened over there that was just kind of like putting me more and more off it all. But I'd already invested so much time into it. I kept telling myself that, oh, you gotta carry on. Like you're not putting all this to waste for all the time that you've put in. Like you can't just let it go like that.
True.
And then there was like a few small things that had happened. Like when I went over there, my passport had somehow gone missing. And I was like, that's really weird. Like I knew exactly where it was, and that somehow had gone missing. I searched the whole entire apartment and everything. And like we'd just moved in as well. So everything was all fresh and new and nothing was messy. And I searched everywhere and it just was nowhere to be found. So I had to order a new passport to go home. There was a time where we had a fight where I pretty much threatened to just leave and go home.
Damn.
And without getting into too much detail of things, my shirt had got ripped off, and there was a lot of bad stuff happening. And then carry on, and
of course,
you know,
Let's keep going.
go back to like normal things, and then you know we'd talk about it, try to like fix the problems and stuff that would happening and all that. And because I'm so like relaxed with things, I always give people like second chances with like that type of stuff, or in this case it was like 10th chance. And then we used to take turns at like going back and forth from from each other's house. So I'd go stay at hers and she'd go stay at mine. Ended up probably traveling and spending like thousands and thousands of dollars of airplane tickets going back and forth.
Jesus, dude. Jesus.
Same with her as well. She made a lot more money than what I did, though.
Sure.
And then pretty much the final straw was when she had moved over here, and then COVID had began, and she wasn't able to go home. And then a lot of bad stuff went on here. Pretty much the main thing that happened was one night I went to go play beer pong with my friends, and one of my friends has a sister who's like several years younger than us, and has nothing to do with us at all. But she had seen that I had followed her on Instagram from years ago, like just because it was my mate's friend. And I occasionally see her when I go over there. And I went over there to play beer pong, and she was spam calling me the whole night, trying to make sure that I wasn't with this girl who wasn't even home and all that stuff, and was just accusing me of cheating on her and whatnot. And I get home quite late because I didn't want to drink drive home. I ended up having a nap in my car before I drove home. It's like 5 a.m. And at the time I had a new flatmate with me, and he was sleeping on the couch waiting for her to leave. And I don't even know if I should get into the next part of the story.
Oh my gosh! Even I'm like, you got me invested, and now we don't have to. I'm not gonna force you on it.
I feel like I should get into it because she thought that I was with my friend's sister, who wasn't even home at the time. She ended up having intercourse with my flatmate, who was just some guy that I knew from stream who wanted a place to stay, who was like I'd met before, and I was like, oh yeah, come on down. Then I needed a new flatmate, someone to help pay the bills. They ended up having intercourse, and I didn't know about it. They hid it from me.
What the fuck, dude? What the hell?
Just wait. Before we get into that, I just want to mention I just seen someone type it in chat. On my birthday, she ended up kicking a hole in my garage door too, because I played random duos with a girl. But anyways, other than that story, we'll carry on with the juicy one. So after that, I had no idea. I came home at like 5:30 a.m. and I saw him on the couch, and you kind of know when you like look at someone, they look like they're fake sleeping. Like, they don't look like that. You're like, does he really asleep? Like, he kind of looks like he's faking it, like, you know. And I looked at him on the couch, which was actually the one just behind me, right there.
Wow.
I guess one of my beer bottles, and
You're good.
And I was like, he doesn't look like he's asleep. And she was still awake in her room, because I'd at the time I was making her sleep in the other room, in her streaming room, because we were on like a little bit of a break, like iffy type thing. And then after that, I noticed that both of them were acting very odd and very funny. The next day, it was like 4 a.m. or something. Like, I'd finished stream and I was going to bed, and then he was still awake on the couch, and he was telling me that he wanted to go play NBA on her PC in her room. And I was like, oh, yeah, go ahead. Like, I don't really care. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, she doesn't have NBA, and he doesn't have like a controller to play on. And then the more that I thought about it, the more suspect that it got. I ended up going to the bathroom, and in the bathroom there's a sliding door that opens the other room. opens the room into that room, and I open the door and I see both of them in bed with each other. He was asleep and she was just laying there looking at me saying like, what do you want, type thing. And I just closed the door and I was like, okay, like that's really weird. And so that was the second part of like the weird stuff that was going on. And then
Oh, use weird is an understatement. Man, that's just fucked up. That's fucked up.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
And at the time, nobody was awake other than one of my mates. His name's Shaq, and I messaged him and I was like, bro, am I going crazy? Like, I explained everything what I just said to you. I sent him a message, and he's like, nah, bro, like, there's definitely something going on. And I was like, all right. So anyway, I went to sleep, and I don't know what happened with him. I think he ended up getting out of her bed and come sleeping on the couch. Then the next day, I had like a little talk with her, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what's all this shit type thing? Keep in mind, this is whilst we were on our break. We weren't officially together, but this was like trying to fix things.
Still, you live with this man, you know?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no other
and
prerogative
him
other than
too, yeah.
vengeance.
Yeah, and then she was trying to get home as well because we wanted the break to be completely away from each other. And then the next day I talked to her, and we were in the bathroom when it happened. He was in here on the couch, and she was saying to me, she's like, I got something to tell you. And she was like being real weird about it. And I was just standing there, and then she's like, I had sex with your flatmate, and I've been talking to my ex. And I was like, okay, like I didn't want to give her any reaction because I felt like it was a vengeance thing. I didn't want her to like feel empowered over saying that to me.
But like, that's so fucking sick. Like, that mentality is so sick.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. And I literally just said okay, and then I just left, and I went back into the room with him, and I was like to him, I was like, "Hey, did you get with her or whatever?" And he was like, "No." And then so I was like, "Okay, well, one of them's lying. Either it happened or it didn't happen."
Yeah.
So I walked back to her, and I was like, "He's saying that it didn't happen," and she's like, "Well, it did." And then I went back to him, and he's like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to get to the bottom of this, and one of them is lying." And then I was like, the best way to do this was to get them both together and see if I can catch any like
a give,
like a give from both of them, any facial expressions or anything like that. So I brought them both into her room, and I straight up asked them. I was like, "Did you do it?" And then she then went back on her word of saying that they did it and said, "No, we didn't do it." And she's like, "We can go." She's saying, "No, we didn't do it." So I was at this stage, I was even more confused. I was like, what, is she just saying this to like try fuck with my head or whatnot like that? And then she was saying, if we did do it, we can go get a STD check because he has chlamydia. And I was like, what? I was like, what? And then I was like to him, I was like, you have chlamydia? And he's like, yeah. And then he goes, yeah, this is where it gets real. This is where it gets real weird. It all makes sense in a second. And he gets this medication. It was just this complete, like, I don't even know what medication it was. It was just like some weird bottle stuff. It was like prescribed. I didn't read into what it was or research it. I just assumed that that's what the medication that he was on for that. And then I was like, okay. And then she's like, we'll go get a test tomorrow. And if it comes back negative with me having chlamydia, then you'll know that we haven't had sex. And I was like, this is so like weird. The whole thing is just weird. So I went back and I laid down and I thought about it all for a second. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure they did because I linked it up. I was like, the night where I came back, he was still awake. She was still awake. It was 5:30 a.m. in the morning. She had just been angry at me for suspecting that I had been cheating on her with my mate's sister. Why the hell would I get with my mate's sister? It's my mate's sister. Who wasn't even home. Who I have nothing to do with at all, other than follow her on Instagram. And then I was thinking about it a little bit more, and then I was like, there's something fishy going on. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So I sat down with my mate, and I was like, look, just tell me. I was like, if you did, just tell me. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm just sick of being like pissed around and messed around and fucked with. I was like, just tell me. And he sat there in silence for about 5 seconds, and I knew that was the biggest giveaway right there. And he was like, yeah, we did. And then I was like, what about the chlamydia stuff? And he's like, we had been messaging each other to make up that story as if I had ever found out that they would go get the test and it would come back negative, and that medication is fake and it has nothing to do with any chlamydia stuff. So that was just a backup story that they had made to try hide it from me. And he says he told me, he's like, I couldn't hold any of the guilt in. He said I felt fucking horrible and all that stuff. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, I didn't even need to say anything to him. He just started packing his bags, and then he left and went home. And then with her, I walked into the room and I was like, all right, he's told me it's time for you to go as well. You're not staying here anymore. And then she put up a big fight with it all. And eventually I had to call my dad to tell her to leave because she wasn't leaving with me telling her. And then, yeah, she pretty much went home after that. And then that was the last that I've heard from her. This is missing a big part in between all the middle of this as well, which I feel like I've told you pretty much a lot of it all now. I might as well tell you this middle part as well. One time when we had this big fight and I wasn't here, I was at my mate's Carp's house. I came home and she had completely emptied out all of my alcohol, hard liquor, all my beer, had thrown all of the frozen food out, even went to the extent of scooping out the Nutella out of the jar into the bin, put the paper towels in the sink and wet it all, completely trashed my whole apartment, threw all my clothes on the ground, kicked holes in my wall, threw a deodorant can into the wall, which I had to patch up, completely like trashed my setup. All my webcams and shit was everywhere. Half of my stuff was unplugged. And there was a few other things as well, but yeah, that's just off the top of my head. And yeah, that was probably the thing that was before all this other stuff has happened, like about a couple weeks before, where I kind of realized like there's something a little bit more wrong going on here.
All right, Mr. Jordy. All right, take a breath. Take a breath. All right, take a breath.
I've purposely not named any names as well, so people don't know.
Yeah, we'll keep that. That's not important. It's not important to out the person. It's just that this happened to you. I'm not even caring about her, quite frankly.
Yeah,
I'm focused on you. I want to know more about you and your headspace. So I know this may seem a bit of a controversial question to ask you, but like, you know, you mentioned a year and a half, man, you know?
Yeah.
And you said after a year, you kind of knew that, okay, things started going downhill. So, and I understand you when I hear you when you say, you know, I forgave her like 10 times, you know, I gave her 10 chances.
Yeah.
Did you really believe in your heart that this relationship had the legs to go the distance?
It was just because it had gone on for so long that I had given so many chances, and on like the next day or two, they would change and it would be sweet, and I'd be like, okay, there's hope there. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the quote before, but hope is a dangerous thing. It may be like the most dangerous of all things. I think it was in Shawshank Redemption even.
Yes.
That's pretty much what I was thinking to myself. Like I was holding on to the thought that maybe this could all work out, and because it was only like my second serious relationship and I'd invested so much time and effort and money into it all that I didn't want to let it all go, that I didn't realize that, hey, this isn't how relationships are meant to be. I talking to all of my mates told me pretty much from the start, they're like, bro, you need to get out of that. Like that is something wrong going on there. Like that's not okay.
Not normal.
And I'd never really experienced like any other, like I had that one relationship prior to that, and that was all sweet. And then this one here, I was like, oh, maybe this one's just different type thing. But it was kind of like, I was naive about the whole everything happening, and I was ignoring everything of what my friends and that were saying.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Why were you ignoring your friends? those people are the ones that I would hope have the best interests in mind for you.
Yeah. Now that I think back of it, I wish I didn't ignore what they were saying, but at the time it was probably just because, as I said, I had invested so much time into it all and so much effort that I didn't want to just let it go over something like that.
Yeah.
But then after all this thing, all that stuff that I just told you happened, I was like, all right, that's the final straw. Like, I'm out of there. Get out while I have that.
Tell me, what is something you've learned through this tumultuous relationship?
Well, I definitely learned what not my type is and what my new type is. And I learned that a lot of things that happened weren't normal, and that a lot of people won't have to experience that, and that I probably will almost 99% certain that I won't get into anything as bad as that ever again.
Wait, Mr. Jordy. I'm not gonna let you off the fucking hook on that one. You said a line that I'm interested in. I pay attention to words. Words are important to me. Things that you come out of your fucking mouth, I will dig into. And so the line that you said is what my new type is. What does that mean? What is your new type?
So the things that were bad with it were, I wasn't allowed to see my friends. They always had to come. The spam calling and messaging when I wanted time alone, I wouldn't get left alone. And the third thing was just like the seriousness and the physical side of things, like the smashing stuff and throwing stuff out and all that type of stuff. So all three of the opposites of those: someone who's laid back, and someone who's not going to spam call me or constantly worry about me, and then someone who's not, like, I guess you could say, violent in a way, and someone who's like blonde and short and like 5'1".
Yeah, that's crazy. It's insane. That's the type. That's the type, guys. That's insane. Like, I don't know who that could possibly be, guys. I could not tell you who that could possibly be under those circumstances. But guys, it's that's wild. So, let me ask you then today. Let me ask you what it is now. You've gone through that. How long has it been since that relationship?
It has been almost 6 months. A couple more, another 6 days, and it's been 6 months since that's been over.
Okay. And so where are you right now in terms of romance? Where are you emotionally, especially going through the fucking ringer like that? Oh, I thought you fucking farted. I'll be honest with you.
No, hold on. Let me just go close my window, bro.
Yeah, go close your fucking window.
A microphone or megaphone outside.
Go. I didn't hear it. Hey, guys, I got you. Guys, I got you. All right. Hey, Midge. I got you. All right. I got you guys. All right. This one's on the house.
All right. Where were we?
So, in terms of, I'm talking about emotional stability. I'm talking about like emotions, because what you gone through, man. I'm level with you. Like, that's tough. That is not easy. That's an emotional roller coaster. That's borderline, if not definition of emotional abuse. And whether it be, it's not even just, it's so multifaceted because it doesn't just deal with your ex. It deals with someone you fucking lived with. Yeah. And so that can create so much distrust. That can create so much insecurity.
Yeah, I got the 2-for-1 special. My flatmate and her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's on the hub, dude. That's a storyline on the hub. I didn't think that this would be a real life occurrence. So when I ask you this, first off, let me go off from there. How did you recover? How did you find solace and then try to re-find yourself?
The next month after that, they tried to make me out like I was the bad person, and they, like,
both of them?
Nah, just one. The guy ended up sending me all the messages that he screenshotted, all the messages that had sent between each other, explaining about how they were gonna hide all this from me and all the stuff that she'd been saying to him prior to them getting it on. So he ended up kind of taking been like a friend, I guess I could say. And again, but obviously I have nothing to do with him. I don't want to see him ever again.
Yeah.
But he, you know, he had some dignity, and he showed me how it all happened, and you know what went on behind it, to just kind of clear my head of how it happened. And then she carried on like subtweeting and writing a whole bunch of shit and posting stuff and turning pretty much everyone that she possibly could against me, or trying to, I should say. And luckily, like 95% of the people that had realized what had happened, because I made a big Discord post about it, 95% of the people that had realized what had happened took my side, because they're not fucking idiots. So yeah, that was really nice to see.
So they saw right through the bullshit of her then.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Okay.
sure. They still do today.
Good.
And yeah, that's what I mean about like the real ones. How I was saying earlier in the interview, the real ones.
Yeah.
They understand it, and they're not stupid about it all.
Hmm.
So what was the question that you asked again? Oh, how I recovered from it. Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
then so that the first month it was just like a bunch of like subtweeting and a whole bunch of shit and
Jesus.
just bad mouthing about it all. And I just stayed quiet. I have not made a single tweet or a single anything. I've not posted anything anywhere other than the initial Discord announcement that I made, which I since deleted, just explaining to everyone why I wasn't streaming. I took like 2
wow.
weeks. I took like 2 weeks off streaming.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from her mum telling her, she was telling me that I need to delete that post. And then I told her that she's been making all of this stuff. Her mum was quite understanding about it. And she was quite good with it all. And then I deleted the post, and I told her to stop making those subtweets about me. All of them were very clear about who they were about.
Yeah.
And then after another couple of weeks, she stopped tweeting and then moved on. And then, yeah, I came back to streaming again. And my first day back from streaming, everybody came back in and was just throwing a bunch of fucking subs and love and
fuck yeah,
money
dude.
and all that
Hell
around.
yeah.
And
Hell
then I ended up checking my Instagram and my Twitter and all of my socials, and realized that they'd like, this is not even an exaggeration of like literally probably about 50 females had been blocked who I'd never even heard of before, on my Instagram, Twitter, and a bunch of accounts that had been muted as well. I just unmuted all of them, and unbanned a whole bunch of people. I still get messages today. I got a message about 3 weeks ago saying that they'd been banned from my stream for no reason. So yeah, I can now play games with girls again. I can now interact with girls again, and it's
a huge win.
It's
huge
great,
win.
man.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I got
No
my
more
life
insecure
back.
people. No, honestly, that's such an insecurity. And it's one of those things where, like, especially, like, I got a homie that, and it's taken years for them to get to this point. But I'm like, dude, like, I've even told her, I was like, this guy's my best friend, and you got to know something about him, all right? He's a very social being, but he loves you very much. And at the end of the day, regardless of the video games or the time spent with other people, like, he comes home to you. You are the only one and only. And if you were to do something shitty like that, then yeah, we'll keep him on check. But I would never judge his character like that. And it sounds like with this individual, whoever that may be, she had a very tough time. It's crazy because it's the person that accuses you of being the cheater is the one that's cheating. Well, she wasn't cheating by definition, but
yeah, by definition she wasn't, but what she was doing was pretty fucked up. Her previous relationship to that, she had been cheated on.
There it is.
So maybe that was the reason why. But for me to cop that, when you get into a new relationship, you don't bring any of that past stuff up. This is a new person that you're dealing with, like.
That wasn't fair. Yeah, that definitely wasn't fair. So I mean, right now I have to ask. Of course, many know the answer. What is your relationship status currently, present day?
I made a pact to myself 6 months ago on the 11th, I believe, of July. I think June. in 6 days, it's gonna be 6 months. Where I made a pact that I would be single, just to take time off and not really get into any relation. I wouldn't get into a relationship. That's pretty much what it was. No relationships for 6 months.
To be exact,
How-
it was the 17th of April, if you want to really be exact, according to the to the
maybe.
records.
Something like that. That was about 6 months ago from now.
Okay.
But I have been talking to someone.
I wonder if she'll follow me. That's the crazy part.
She may be watching right now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Fucking insane.
Yeah. I hope she doesn't watch the VOD.
It's gonna be too late. Let me yeah, of course. We know all that sauce. We understand that. What is it? What is it in terms of relationships for you? You know, you've gone through the ringer, especially the last one. And then the person you are talking to right now, you know, clearly night and day. You know, I've had the opportunity to speak with her and very blessed to do so. Like I'm honestly like what's kind of weird is like when I first saw her and then when I saw you, I was like, wait, what how wait, what's going on here? They're very different people. They're very, in my opinion. But then I was waiting to say this at the very end. But like I completely misjudged you as well, Mr. Jordy. Like I was wrong. I was wrong.
That's sorry for interrupting. That's a problem that I think that I have with my stream is that a lot of people will come in and they'll get like a first 10-second impression of me and it may not be the right one.
True. Well, it's you know, we and I'm gonna say, I'm not even gonna say as Americans or whatever bullshit. I'm gonna say as me as an individual. You know, we're grown ass men, Jordy. We can make these kind of statements. But like we judge people because we are insecure or we want to put them in a category to make ourselves feel comfortable. And so when I go on your stream, I'm like, ooh, this guy got Chad energy. This guy got this, you know, he's drinking out of a fucking shoe. He is, you know, farting into a mic. He got Chad energy. And then I talk to you for 3 hours and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a wholesome dork. But he has still, it must be the mustache. But it's something else is overcoming that. And like when it's the side. Oh, yeah, there it is. There, you know, everyone talks about the porn star mustache. It's definitely the porn star sideburns. All right, that's the thing that really that people overlook. But she, you know, I remember asking Midge about this all, and she spoke about you in the highest regard. And I know you were there to hear it. And
I was.
It was really.
I enjoyed every second of it.
Well, you know that I have to get my money's worth as well, then, Mr. Jordy. I have to ask you the same question that I asked her. What is it about her that you enjoy so much that made you infatuated?
Oh God. I know she's sitting there with the biggest grin on her face right now.
Hey, it's on the house, Midge. It's on the house, all right?
The one thing that I think that you know how they say opposites attract?
Okay.
It's not the case with her and I. She's a fucking idiot and I'm a fucking idiot. and it's because we're so alike in a way. Like she said before that she's the girl version of me and I'm the boy version of her.
It's gross, but I could see that.
So yeah. She's if she's anything like me, she's incredibly good looking, she's incredibly funny, and you know, just
how many just look at all these. Are you a salesman, my man? Are you a fucking salesman? Because you are working it up. You are this man. You know, I would think with the white skin, this man's pale, but his nose is very brown right now. It is ridiculous, Mr. Jordy, that you are gonna use this platform to speak some game to the lady. I love it. I respect it. But you know, honestly, like, and I do hope that this does age well, because it's like, y'all are good. I can see it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like you're a very good man. And I'll say all the nice shit at the end, but yeah.
She's very genuine and down to earth, and I think that's what I like about her the most. And then you got like the perks on the side, like she's actually funny for being a woman, and she's
super talented, dude. Super talented.
Yeah, she obviously she's good looking and whatnot, but yeah, she's kind of got it all. and she doesn't call my phone 150 times in a row. She'll just call me once. That's
Love
right,
that.
chat. She calls me first.
He had to bring it back somehow. He had to pull out some man cards right there. Also, go ahead, Mish. You can find this on YouTube. All right, you can clip as much as you want. Go ahead. That's for you. That's for you. But that dude, that's so awesome. Like, I'm really honestly, like, to bring it back to a more serious tone. Like, I'm very happy for you. Like, you've to have gone through. Everyone goes through their own shit. And I know no one's trying to be a charity on this show. No one's trying to get those empathy points. But what you've gone through, my man, and the way you're like carrying yourself and telling this story with such candor and vulnerability and honesty, dude, that's where my highest respect goes towards. Like, that is a tough thing to go through. When you put yourself out there romantically, and you don't even have to go through the whole thing of love. Like, just to be in a relationship with someone, to be committed to someone. And then all that shit transpires, the cheat, not the cheat, but the mental game, the mental battleground that you had to go through with your flatmate, with her, to be able to do what you're doing right now, not just in terms of streaming, but in terms of romance, I think it's more a testimony on you and how much you've grown as a man, and as specifically as a good man. Honestly, Jordy, I again. Old man moms, I judge you way too quickly. I thought you were Mr. Chad, but I got the weirdest friendship crush on you right now, and I have no right for that. I got no right for that. It must be the gym talking.
I never posted anything about it all, so it's only the people from my stream that know about this stuff. I don't like to make things like that public. It's not in a way necessary. You don't fight fire with fire. Just kind of let it happen, and then I believe in the karma side of things, so I'll let that happen.
Damn, you running a number on me tonight. I was not expecting this kind of show. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was stressing out. I was messaging my mods. I was like, in my headspace, I'm feeling crazy. I didn't know, but this has been fantastic. Honestly, Jordy, this has been very nice, and I've enjoyed it. But that gives us to our third segment of the evening, and I do know you are pressed on time, so I want to respect your time as well.
It's all right. If you want to carry on going, then you carry on going. I can see a good majority of my chat in here, so it's still content for them,
Well, either way, they'll know more about this. This is the community questions part, all right?
Yeah.
So I'll try to get into a few before I have to take a piss, and then I'll get to the other half.
Yeah, I need to break the seal again.
Okay, actually, do you want to do it right now? That would.
Hit me with the first question.
Are you sure? It's a nonsense question.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck, this is even mean. What are your opinions on Enzo's arms? What the fuck does that mean, man? That was asked 4 hours ago, my man. That was 4 hours ago. Someone waited to hear that.
Does it tell you who it's
No,
from
it doesn't.
or not?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
That's the worst part.
So Enzo is a guy that I've known for ages, like 3-4 years now, since like the H1 days.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty regular in the stream, and he studies a bunch of health stuff, and he goes to the gym a lot. So that's the background of that story. So he just wants me to compliment his arms from saying that question. So my thoughts on Enzo arms is that yes, Enzo does have pretty large arms.
Hey, Jack. He's got 22s, my man. He's got biceps. It's all that. It's the curls. That's fucking out of pocket. I'll give you one more, and then we go to the restroom, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Actually, I'm curious about this one. It goes, do you think you can hold your weight when drinking?
Yeah.
How much is the most? Like, what's your threshold?
The most? Oh.
Or before, not blackout. I'm talking about, like, when you feel like you're buzzed or you're, like,
Like, I've pretty much had 5 beers tonight, and I've been fine. And I only had breakfast this morning, so...
Damn.
The most that I've ever drunk in a night, like in one sitting, because usually you'll have like your prees and then you'll go somewhere after that. The most that I've had at like a prees is like probably 17 beers. But yeah, I feel like I can, like,
What
most nights. Like, if I drink, I drink quite a lot. You probably don't know that about me. Not so much recently, but like the last couple of months, I was thinking like a box every like 2-3 days. Like, I was drinking quite a decent amount.
What is it? Is it what? How the hell are you guys doing? 17 fucking beers? Like that is
Yeah.
insane. These are numbers that I've never, even at my prime, I've never hit.
Yeah, you kind of build up a tolerance for it. Like there was a stage where I wasn't feeling anything until I had sunk like 6 beers. That was like 2 months ago. I was had 6 beers and I wouldn't feel anything at all.
Yeah.
It's I can easily finish a box if I want to, like a 12 box. But yeah, I think the most in a night would probably be like around just like 20 drinks, but like that's the whole night. That's from like probably like 4 to like 4, you know, like
Yeah. Oh, so
we
you're
do
yeah,
it. We
day
do
drinking.
we do a thing in New Zealand called Crate Day. So the first Saturday of December, we buy a crate, and that's 12 bottles of 750 mils. Like huge, big bottles. They're like double the
Yeah.
size of a normal bottle.
Jesus.
I've never finished it before, but just putting it into perspective, I've had like 10 of those before, so that's 7.5 liters of alcohol. And if I just
Holy cow. Damn.
if I do a
Seven and a
quick,
half liters, dude. Oh my gosh. And you're not
yeah.
blacking? You're not blacking out?
And if I put that into a 330 ml Corona bottles, that's 22. So yeah, that's probably the most that I've ever drunk was 22 Coronas. I guess you could put it into a thing.
You strictly drinking? You're not anything, nothing else beyond that?
I don't know. I used to do a little bit of stuff back in the day, but I haven't done any of that stuff for a very long time.
Fair play. Jesus. Like, see, and now this is more reinforcement. I don't know if I can go to TwitchCon and see your all your asses there, and you guys are all like, "Oh yeah, let's go drink," and then I realize, oh, their minimum threshold is 10 drinks minimum.
Yeah.
I'm already black. This tiny Asian man is already blacked out, and I'm supposed to be the oldest one between you all.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. Last night I was cleaning up my PCs and I found receipts for all of the drinks that I'd bought at the casino. Midget can vouch for this too. And it was just rounds of vodka Red Bulls for everyone. when I get well, obviously I was winning a lot at the casino, so I was very happy. I was just buying everyone drinks, and there was just receipts after receipts of just rounds of drinks for everyone. But yeah, if I see you at TwitchCon, you can expect a free drink. I'm always the guy to.
And likewise, dude. No, that same. I love. Oh my gosh, my best friends in college, same thing. We all went to the casino. We all played. My thing was blackjack though. That was the game that I played a lot. And so when you have a hot night, you got to be the one that's buying the drinks. All right, you know it's not that much. They also sell it at a lower case in the States because they know that if you drink more, you're bound to make worse decisions in the casino.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's not where they make the money.
These drinks at the casino I went to, I think were like $16 a drink. Like,
what is
ridiculous?
This? What?
For a vodka Red Bull, a shot of vodka and a Red Bull was
That damn out of pocket. Those are out of pocket prices. All right, let's take a piss. All right, take a piss. We'll come back. We got some questions. Deal. All right, we're up. All right.
You beat me.
Barely, dude. I am trying to hold it down, dude. I honestly, I need it. Like, I will be eating some good shit later tonight, man. I am way too. I don't know what it is. I haven't eaten a meal in over 10 hours, so we're zooming through here. All right, some of these questions here. Again, the rules for this are simple, Mr. Jordy. Some of these are reactions. I'll just read them accordingly. You don't have to answer any of these questions that are weird or sus, but I'm gonna read them through. All right.
Yeah.
So here's actually a good question. Random question here for Jordy. But what is the first video game you remember playing, and do you think it has aged well?
The first video game I played was Unreal Tournament Game of the Year edition, which was 1998. And do I think it's aged well? I mean, it was a very, very old game that only got traction for a little bit, but yeah, probably not. I think it's actually had a big influence in my first person shooting, like all my battle royales and first person shooters that I play. Though, like I was on that from a very, very young age. When my brothers would let me on the Windows 98 computer to play that stuff, that was the game that I wanted to play. I think that sounds weird, but like that's probably what has started like the hand-eye coordination, like the first person shooter sense in a way, was watching my brothers play and then playing that when I was really, really young.
And it has aged well, just to get that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Clearly something that the people want to know. How big is Jordy's stiffy?
You can ask one person that.
What perhaps wait, what I can ask one fucking person that.
Yeah.
You a freak, Jordy. You know that? I can smell it from here in the States, all right? I know your ass is a freak, all right? It comes with a mustache, all right? The snatch tickler, dude. All right, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, you don't gotta answer this. Next one here says, for Jordy, do you like I don't know what this means. Do you like laser beams content? What does that mean? You mean?
Oh, okay. A little bit of backstory here.
Yes.
Like I don't even know. It's probably like 2 years ago now. Laserbeam made a video of him stream sniping a bunch of Oceanic streamers, and I happen to be one of those people. And my clip that he made of in there was probably like the best out of all of them. Was he came down and landed beside me in Fortnite, and I looked at him, and I didn't kill him because he was just dancing. I don't even. And at the time, he asked if he could stream snipe as well. So I had a feeling, I knew it was kind of him. And some other guy landed down, and I had a RPG, a rocket launcher, and I went to fire it at the other guy to kill him, so I could carry on dancing with Laserbeam or talk to him or whatnot. And Laserbeam placed a wall just as soon as I fired the RPG, and it ended up blowing myself up and killing myself. So it made for quite a good clip for his YouTube video that he made. And then that video on YouTube now has like 43.5 million views. And in the video, he tells everyone to go and watch the stream. So ever since that day, I've had people coming in my stream saying, hey, you're the guy from Laserbeam's video. And all of them have the names like Fortnite Lover 6127 and, Rocket Man, like Laserbeam Fan 8888, like all that type of stuff. And it's just really, really like annoying is the best way to put it. So yeah, that's the relationship that I have with Laserbeam, is that video that he made of me and the bunch of kids that come into the chat after that video. So it's kind of become like a meme now that people say that Laserbeam has made me, like Laserbeam made my channel. When in reality, I don't think I've had one person come from his video that has actually stayed around for longer than like 10 minutes. So
Listen,
Yeah.
man, Laserbeam actually DM'd me. He's the reason why I had to invite you. He told me to get you on the show, man. All right. I'm just doing Laserbeam a favor. All right, Laserbeam, we're even now. All right, cool? We're cool. I'm fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Again, it's the gin. This is not moms. This is dads now. All right. This is dads for Christ. I mean, online. Holy cow. Next question here says, when are the RuneScape streams coming?
I think I know who that's from.
Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is?
Jordsmart. It's got to be from Jordsmart. That's kind of a game that I play off stream, just with my friends. I don't really.
No, wait,
play
you
it
play
too
RuneScape?
much. Old school. I just go PKing with my friends on it as just a bit of a side hobby. I don't do any of the skilling stuff or the boring, day-to-day stuff. I just go for the fun.
You a member?
Yes, I am a member.
Oh my God, Jordy, stop, enough. I'm not allowed to like you this much, all right? I'm not. You're supposed to be Chad in my mind, all right? You're not supposed to play RuneScape Classic. You probably have trimmed armor. I don't want to talk about that, all right? This is
when it's coming on stream, there may be a special occasion where I do do a RuneScape stream, but I'm not planning on it.
Mm-hmm.
I know I do have a few RuneScape fans in my community that want to see it.
They're going crazy. Which, by the way, this is a segment. If you do want to pull up your chat, the chat there, they're reacting to this.
I do have it up. Yeah.
Okay, good, because they do want that shit. They do want it. All right. I would be remiss not to ask. Here's another question here. If you had the chance, would you do it all again? Streaming, jobs, relationships.
I wouldn't do the relationship again.
Okay.
I would do the job again, and I would all the mistakes and things that I didn't know. If I had known them going into the job, I would have done it straight off the bat. And the streaming, I've always kind of thought to myself with streaming is that if I stopped streaming or told everyone that I was going to stop streaming and then made a new account and then started streaming again and nobody knew who I was, I wonder if I would get as far as what I am here, because I feel like with Twitch, especially being on the platform for so long, is that once you hit a wave with Twitch, you have to ride it until you get to that stage of like 150 plus viewers or so, where then your channel is right up there in the terms of views, where you can ride things, like ride the wave out. Because I've gone up and down so many times, I feel like I'll always kind of be that average Joe kind of streamer until I get like a big boost in things. So I would like to start everything again and then go from there. But obviously I can't do that.
Do you feel like, and this is not just a personal question or a side question, do you feel like your size, and especially having partnership and all that jazz, like it is tough to pivot? I always say that, like, people that are affiliate, people that are smaller streamers, we have that right. We have that liberty to pivot and change our content to make it, mold it to the best that it can, or something that could be different that would attract more eyes. Do you feel that where you're at right now, you couldn't do that?
I feel like because I've been streaming for 4.5 years. Say I'd only been streaming for 2 years, I feel like I couldn't. But because it's been 2.5 years, I've gained the loyal ones from Fortnite, from H1Z1, from like PUBG even, and now Warzone. I've gained all the loyal ones from there that will watch me play any game.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do it, but if it was 2 years ago or so, I feel like I couldn't do it because I wouldn't have enough base viewers to attract an audience from that.
This one's more of a comment. It says, Jordan saved my life. That's that. That's a big one, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I smile at that and I can laugh at that, but I think those are, I don't know to what degree, but like definitely it's very interesting to know, the influence that you have on people.
I will make a comment. There has been because I've been streaming for such a long time, I have had people message me saying similar things to that. Saying that without my streams, they wouldn't know what they would do with their spare time or what stuff they would get up to, and that I've helped them through like tough times. And I feel like all streamers have had that, but me especially, because like I'm one of, I think, like top 5 in Oceania that has streamed for the longest and for the most hours. I feel like the amount of people that have come into my stream as well. And that I've received messages like that from has been probably a little bit higher than the good majority of other streamers. But yeah, there's definitely been a few people that have sent stuff like that before. I mean, hey, I just sit here and play video games and talk to chat, and if that helps you, then sweet. If it doesn't, then
I've noticed that though, beyond streaming, beyond Twitch, where it's like the impact that we make as humans, and I'm not even just talking about streamers, I'm talking about everyone, whether it be us here or the people that are in chat or whoever, people that aren't even on Twitch. The things that we do in our day to day may seem mundane to us, may seem small, but like they can really make an impact. They can make a difference. And so, you know, always trying to put your best foot forward, always trying to do the right thing are huge in the grand scheme of things, because we never know who's watching. We never know what kind of influence we have on people. And sometimes we may never know in life. And that's the kind of like mentality that I have in when it comes to either, you know, doing whatever we do on Twitch, or even like when the cameras are off and I'm just doing my day-to-day shit. Like, I want to be able to say that, like, when I go put my head on my pillow at night, like, you know, well, I've earned this sleep. Like, this sleep, I could rest easy, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Here's another one here. Between me and you, surely let one of us yoink Midge's VIP for the boys. They are after Midge. What is your they are going for her throat.
You know, you mentioned that Hot 600 before.
Yes.
There's been times in the stream where she's been timed out for like close to an hour, where she just, as soon as it finishes, someone else will come in. I don't know why they pick on her.
I think it's obvious why, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of obvious, but like, why? I don't know. It's just, they don't like that. They write that they don't have
they can't
access to yoink her VIP badge.
Yeah. Listen, Midge, it's tough. It's tough at the top, all right? It's lonely at the top. That's all I got to say to you, all right? That's the thing. Here's one. Yeah, these are a couple. These next two are, these next 3 are all comments. First one says, "You sexy, also Midge cute." I'm not sure what that one went with, but that's I think they're calling you cute.
Tupac, probably.
Tupac, gotcha.
Yeah.
The next one here says, "Hey, Jordyx3."
That's correct.
Correct. Thank you. And then the last one here of a comment before we get into a question says, "When are you?" I guess it is a question. "When are you taking Echoes on a date?" XOXO. Echoes?
Echoes.
Echoes.
When am I taking him on a date? He's like 6'5", so I can't be seen in public with him.
Damn.
That's not happening. Sorry. I'm gonna have to wear a bunch of high heels, or he's gonna have to be on his knees or something. Not on his knees.
Easy there. All right, Mitch is in the chat. All right, Mitch is in the chat. All right, easy there. I have here, okay, this one, everyone and their fucking mom asked this question to every fucking guest I've had, and I'll say it again, but it is such a loaded question. There's never a right one. Who is your favorite mod?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's what I'm saying. It's not fair.
Who is my favorite mod?
Jesus.
Oh god, there's a few of them in the chat right now too.
I'll stay quiet for this one. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
I feel like they're all gonna get upset if I say it. Oh, my favorite mod. See, I have like a few. I have a few like mods who will come and go. Like, I don't really unmod anyone from my stream. Like, once they get mod, they kind of have mod forever. The mod that puts in the most work would have to be. I'm not gonna categorize favorite because they're all good at their own things. The mod that puts in the most work would be either Rilo or Pilot Mike. Both of them put in a lot of work. My favorite mods in terms of content or funnies would probably be Cuckles or Crick. And then my other two, like just standout mods or mods that are nice, would probably be Winchy and Jai would probably be the other two. And yeah,
There you
that
go.
would be it.
There you go. There you go. I like the answer.
Also, I got a question for you, Mums. I know you don't
Shoot.
get asked questions, but do you know what a vortic is?
A Votic?
A vortic.
No. Shoot.
It's this.
Oh, the Koreans. Oh, yes. Holy. Oh, God. Jordy. In another life, if we were born in the same year, this is you would be in my fucking wedding, my man. All right. This is the stuff you've done is exactly what all my best friends have. The bullshit that you've showed me through the past 3 hours is exactly what they've done for 4 or 5 years. Holy cow. That's fantastic. Yeah. Are you using a key or do you have an actual bottle opener?
I have a bottle opener, but I can show you another magic trick.
Are you tugging your desk? Go ahead. Let's see it.
Yeah, my desk. I'll tilt it down for you.
I don't know, man. This is risky. Let's see it.
Here.
Come on.
Ready? Oh. It opened.
This is why I do not drink on my stream doing these interviews. I drink on Mondays. You got me drinking on Wednesdays. That's fucking fantastic, Jordy. Holy shit. I have not. God damn. This man, God, this guy, I got you. All right. We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back here. Here's a weird, okay. You have to see the thing about reading these questions. First of all, I have no understanding of what's going on here. And so when I read this, it says, is the Mazda faster than the WRX? I'm assuming it's cars, but what's going on here?
I know who that's from. That's from a guy called Shorty. I don't know if he's in the chat. So like I have a car that it's a WRX. You probably heard of them, Subaru.
Yeah.
That I put a lot of money into, and is probably like my biggest hobby outside of streaming.
Nice.
So he's asking that question. He knows it's slower, but he's just asking that.
You got a fucking tractor there? Yeah.
Yeah. He's just asking that question to try and wind me up. Yeah, I have a big interest and a big love for cars. So
there he is. Shorty, you said it was Jordyx3?
Yeah,
there he is.
In the chat?
Yeah, he's there. He just showed up. He's talking shit. He's like, yeah, that's me. What about it? What about it? Oh my god.
His mess is slow.
Guys, it goes, King Jordy, how many times a day do you watch Israel Adesanya and Dan Carter highlights? Also, how big is your cock?
That's Adam. I know that for a fact. That's another thing is I'm quite into my UFC. I know pretty much everything about the UFC, and especially about Adesanya. And then the Dan Carter highlights is just another thing is rugby. I'm quite into my rugby.
Nice.
So yeah, Dan Carter being the best first five of all time, and Israel Adesanya being the champ at the moment. Although there was another Kiwi fighting today who got a nice knockout, but that's for another time.
Yeah. Can Instant drop a log off the balcony this weekend? What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
So tomorrow I will be picking up three of my mates that are coming down from Auckland, and then two of them are driving down from Tauranga and Palmerston North. Well, these names don't make any sense to you, but
wait, no. Actually, I do know. Oddly enough, I think I know who Instant is. No, I thought you were talking about Instinct. Yeah, Instinct.
Oh, he's an absolute creature, that guy.
Yeah.
You think I can drink a lot? That guy there drinks
100%. No, fuck that. The moment I stopped by his stream, I knew, okay, this guy, this man fucks. All right, this man's over the top.
Yeah.
He could put him down, dude. This man. What do you mean by drop a log? I'm either take a dump off the the balcony.
take a dump. So
where are you guys heading?
I don't even know how it started. Like a meme, although like a couple months ago was someone donated because I'm moving out of this place that I'm currently in. Like this place is a dump. I'm moving into a new apartment, and everybody in my stream wanted me to take a shit off the balcony. Which is what he means by drop a log off the balcony. And they started like a donation fund for it. Like they're all just donating money and with the message being like shit off the balcony fund. So and it's honestly probably like a couple $100 being donated for that. So when I leave this place, I may indeed squat over my balcony. And
you can't say may if they already sent in the money. If they have a fund for this, my man, it's got to be. There better be proof in the Discord, which I didn't know. I'm joining your Discord tonight for this proof. But
yeah, I'll get Tom to film it. I'll get 2 camera angles for it hitting the ground.
You fucking D-Gen, dude. I love that. I love that. That's so funny. I have dead ass taken a shit. I was so drunk one time in college. I took a shit. Someone convinced me, barely convinced me, like, take a shit in the sock drawer. All right, take a shit in our friend's sock drawer. So we dumped out all the socks. I'm not a savage. I'm not gonna take a shit in someone's on top of the socks. Took a shit in the sock drawer, put it back in. This motherfucker was camping for the weekend. I didn't know that. It was sitting there for 3 days, and I thank the Lord I didn't get expelled, but holy cow, I went to a religious college, my man. They expel you for less. All right, it was me, Navarro. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Love you, my man. All right. What does this? I understand the question. I don't get the undertone. It goes, can your schlong fit between thunder thighs? Is that something that resonates with you?
Yeah. So Thunder Thighs is another name that they call midget.
Okay. All right. No, I can't do that one. I look at her in the eyes. I enjoy her as a content creator and streamer. All right. I can't do this. Thunder Thighs. What the fuck?
That was Shorty's doing. He actually a couple of days ago, his name was Thunder Thighs X3 was his name on Twitch. So he kind of set that up, and she just kind of got the name as Thunder Thighs, which is, I mean, it isn't a bad thing. I like some big thighs, but
big thighs save lives. I got you.
Yeah, saves lives. What was the question that he asked? Can I fit between them?
Can your cock fit between thunder thighs? Yes, correct. Thunder thighs. Which
we'll have to find out once the borders close. Open. Sorry.
All right, next question there. Next question. On to the next. It says here, I'm fucking stupid. I'm stupid. It says, can you explain why Crick or CRIC is the best mod in 3 words? I'm not gonna answer these questions. All right.
It's a 3 words. He is not.
He is not. Actually, that works. That works perfectly. Sup Smile, will you ever do Jordy says back on Fortnite customs again? Pepe laugh.
I used to run Fortnite customs where I'd play Simon Says, but it was Jordy Says. So I'd tell everyone, I'd get them all on a Discord call, and I'd say, Jordy Says crouch, and then they'd all crouch, and they'd be like, stand up, and then whoever stood up would get shot and then removed from the game. And then we used to play a few of those games back in the day. It was quite good content, actually.
That's creative, actually. That's pretty creative.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I was one of the first people to do it, or if not the first person to do it on Fortnite, and then everyone else started copying me. So, yeah.
What would you give to bring H1 back?
My kidney.
What happened to it? I'm actually not familiar. Why did it just die out, or?
They did a combat update which changed the way that the guns fired, and yeah, it was just absolutely horrible. Exactly. They changed it, and then they didn't want to change it back, but then by the time they did change it back, it was already too late. So many people had left playing the game.
Damn. Thoughts on Smash My Head?
Thoughts on Smash My Head? Oh God, that's a controversial question.
I don't know what that
Um,
is. I'm sorry. If I read that, is it too much? What is that?
it could be too much.
Okay.
So the kennel that I'm running, one of them was doing all the artwork and graphics for it, and then pretty much just left me on like seen and read for like the next 2 weeks when we were going to launch like the final kennel thing.
Yeah.
And then the other half of it, because it's two of them that run the stream, the other half of it unmodded himself in my stream without saying anything. So I don't really,
Mm.
I actually don't know what's going on with that whole situation, but there's a lot of weird, sketchy stuff going on.
Fair play. Fair play. Next one here says, "Can I christen your car?" Smile. What does christen? Is that a special meaning to that?
That was midget. Christen means like
Oh, I know what
I
christen means, but like,
Yeah.
what was the? Okay, jeez, Louise, guys, come on, all right. Jeez, Louise, just everyone's horned up on Maine here. All right, Q for Jordy. this I'm thinking about making a third show. Is this apparently I'm either gonna set The Bachelor or a fucking Maury show. All right, this is clearly the content for it. But Q for Jordy, how long till you move to Melbourne to live?
Oh. um. Oh, there's a lot to that question. There's
Why?
a lot to that question.
What do you mean by that?
Obviously, someone lives in Melbourne that I want to go see.
Yeah, of course.
And the second half of that would be that if it goes well, then I would obviously want to be there in Melbourne. But then the third part of that story is that I've just bought a apartment in Wellington that if I don't decide to live in, we'll have to rent it out to two others and then move absolutely everything over to Melbourne if I were to live there, including leaving my car behind, which I really don't want to do. So there's a lot to think about with that question.
Sure. And I think that's one of those things where you have to let kind of time run its course. You know, it's not an immediate answer. And I think many people are looking for that, or even yourself. Like we get to that mindset where like, I want to make all the answers now just so I have peace of mind. But you know, something that's very valuable is being able to let the cards fall where they may, and then you have a better picture of the story ahead of you.
Yeah.
Hey, that one's on the house, all right, Jordy. That one's on the house.
Yeah, because the main reason behind it is I don't have a problem with renting out my place because that will end up paying for the rent of my new place that I get in Melbourne.
True.
And that's all fine. And then obviously streaming you can do anywhere that has internet.
True.
So I would just get a PC or two PCs in Melbourne. But the thing that's important to me is my car, because I've spent a lot of money and time on my car.
Yeah.
It would cost, I think it's like $1,000 or $2,000 to ship my car over to Australia, and then I would have to get my Australian license, which wouldn't be a problem. I'm a absolutely insane driver, but
the best over here, only the best of the best.
then I have to do a whole bunch of like registration and get my car certified for all Australia and all that.
True. I'll read you three more. All right, I'll read you three more, and then I'll have you get ready for your stream. All right, my man. All right. Which is honestly a bummer. And here's the thing. I'm gonna grandstand a little bit. And I want to already invite you. I have another show that the whole reason I made this other show was because I don't want to lose these connections. I don't want to lose these relationships because I enjoyed my time here with you, man. I really did. And I have another show, much more informal. Literally, I drink on that show and eat.
Yeah.
And we just hang out. I have two other co-hosts, and we usually bring on one or two other guests, and we just shoot the shit for a couple hours. So if you're more than keen on doing that, my man, I would love to have you.
Easy for anything like that.
Perfect. But okay, they're calling me a simp. Fuck off, guys. All right, this is listen. You could do that on his channel. All right, mods, let's get him out of here. Let's get Tim Clash of Clans out of this fucking. That game has been dead for over a million years.
You're not talking shit about Clash of Clans, are you?
Are you still playing Clash of Clans?
I'm almost a max Town Hall 11. Thank you very much.
Okay, invite is revoked. That's. I haven't played that in like 5 years, my man. All right, there are children that are. Oh my gosh, you are. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't worry, it didn't show
my whole base got destroyed.
Okay, wow, goodness gracious, you gotta go fix that shit. Jeez Louise, don't you take
Admire that, chat. Yeah, what?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Hey, bitch, look at that. Look at that. Check that one out. All right. 3 more here. It says, who is your favorite chat member and why is it Team Oliver?
Team Oliver is pretty good. The one thing that I like about Team Oliver is that instead of coming into the chat and saying, hey, Jordyx3, he says, hey, Jordyx3, and then straight after or before that, he'll go, hey, chat. He won't just include me as just a streamer. He'll include like everyone as a whole.
That's
so that
awesome.
what makes Team Oliver a good chat viewer.
Yeah, viewer. Oh, of course. Okay. This one, they clearly just want to get you go. This makes no, we've talked this over and over. It says, would you ever date another streamer?
What type of a stupid question is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
Jeez, Louis, thank you. Jeez, Louis, they're not listening to you. They're not listening. And a redundant question. Thank you. You know, for that, I'll roll it up. It goes, can you? Okay, what? Can you tell Crick to hurry up and hit a 6? What is that? Is that?
So Crick loves cricket. That's where his name comes from. Cricket. And Crick is like a 6 foot, like 50 kg absolute stick figure, and he doesn't have enough meat on his arms to swing the bat hard enough to hit a 6. So if you know what a 6 is when you hit the ball on the full and it goes out of bounds. Crick can't hit a 6.
Gotcha. These are again over my head. Last question here. Last question of the evening says. Okay, wait, is that a threat? Anyways, I'll read that threat last, but I'll read the threat first. It goes, keep your hands off my man, winky smiley face, or I'll steal your girl? Is that Mish? Is Mish talking shit? I have no idea what that one meant, but the last one here, I have no idea what this means. It says, can you ask Jordy... Okay, what? Can you ask Jordy on his thoughts on the crayfish song Shorty?
That's so stupid. So 3 of my mates from college, like 5 years ago, wanted to have a song on Spotify. They wanted to have a song that people could play on Spotify. So they went to my mate's house who had like a drum set and a microphone and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they made a song from scratch called Crayfish. And it's just the stupidest song ever. It makes absolutely no sense. But they somehow got it on Spotify, and it's just become like I used to play a little bit of marbles on stream, and they used to be able to request songs, and they used to request that song Crayfish, and it's just horrible.
Crayfish by Shorty, to be exact. But yeah, that's fucking sick. All right. Well, I've X'd out of the questions. Mr. Jordy, dude, you've been killing it. You've gone through the gauntlet with me, and here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna try this without looking as sloshed as possible. Nothing in this world comes free, and so there is a payment that needs to be made. The first one is this. All right, do you have the chat open? Do you have the stream open?
Yes, I do have the chat open.
Can you go on who's watching the stream, and can you pick a random name, any name, Jordy? It's up to you, and it's not a bad thing. Can you pick any name at random that isn't myself, a mod, or a current VIP?
Oh, that is a very tough question.
No stress.
I'm gonna pick Tupac.
Yo, Tupac, you here? Oh, Tupac's right there. Yo, Tupac, listen here. All right. So the first thing is this. All right, you got VIP here. All right, and how the game is played is that there's only 5, and that VIP is always in the VIP's lounge on the main screen. But the thing is, you have to choose someone's name. So I'm gonna spam here. The 5 names. I need you to choose one for me. I need you to choose any one of those names to take out, completely ruin their day, completely ruin their week, their holiday season, and say, this is going to be yours. And guess what? You know what? This is my Friday of streaming, so they're not going to be able to take it back. No one's going to be able to take it from you. All right? So Tupac, name a name as much as you can. I need to write your name. Shit. I'm going to have to remember how many.
3 C's for Jordyx3.
Perfect. Interesting. Wow. Wow,
Oh.
quick. She had it for all of one fucking day, Tupac, all right? Jeez Louise, you took her out. No, it's totally fine. And that's going to make my job easier. And Jordy, here's the thing, all right? You've gone through this gauntlet with me. All right. You've gone through this again, and the thing is this, like I truly do appreciate your time. You did not have to go this much over with me. Like I had in my mind, I had my phone right here and there was an alarm for how long I was going to hold you for before I let you go, because I know you got to stream, you got to do your own shit.
I said 3 hours, did I know? It's only been 3.5, so that's all right.
It's 3.5, but hey, you know, I'm a man. I
Not
keep
bad
my
at all.
word. But here's the thing, all right? Yeah, not all of us can be 5 hours, all right? Mish keeps the record. She's right now record holder, all right? And I love that
she
time
just
with her.
doesn't shut up. She just keeps
But
talking.
But she got a lot of good shit to say. That's the thing. Like, I appreciate that out of her, all right? I'm a good man. No. I appreciated it. But let me ask you this. You've gone through this thing, and I'm going to make it a little harder on you, though, all right, Jordy? Because here's the thing. I've already scoped out your whole kennel. I've already scoped it. And I do plan on sending them invites, too. So don't even bother with that. But who is one thing outside of your own stream team that you would like to see on this show to experience the same thing that you have this kind of conversation and just, you know, vibe out and we can learn about their lives?
Ooh, it's a good question. Can I get
You
should
can
I
have
get the chat to type a 1 for me real quick, and then I'll see who's in here. There's a few people on my following list that aren't in here, but I feel like a good majority of them have already done it, and then the other half of them are all in the kennel as well, so it makes it very difficult.
Mm-hmm. That's why I want to
look.
make it a little difficult on you, Jordy. All right. Because I do have my, like, I won't lie. I do have them. I have a spreadsheet, dead ass. I have a spreadsheet, and I have a lot of your team in that spreadsheet. But this will be done over time. This is not all going to be at once. So it's like I have to wait, you know, a couple weeks or a month to reach out to them because I don't want to double book.
That is true. You do have the kennel team on that list, do you?
I do,
100%. There's a few goodies on there. There's a few
there's
goodies.
A few. There's a lot of good ones, my man.
Everyone
yeah.
a goodie. Looking from anyone that's not in the kennel that is in here right now, it would probably be Jordsmart. A good majority of them don't stream, but Jordsmart there would be a good one.
Perfect. All right, I got him on. Jordsmart, I got you on the sticky. All right, I got you on the sticky. I'll check out your stuff, my man. But Mr. Jordy, all right, here's the thing. I've been saying, I know I've fucking lost my mind. I've you know, we've been here for 3.5 hours. We've heard your mentality on streaming, which honestly I absolutely love. Like I'm always looking for someone to even just to learn from, to gain some knowledge. And again, in my culture as a Filipino, like we have a thing where it's like, oh, the older means, you know, the person that's older has more experience. But when I look at you, like the way you speak about Twitch and how you hold yourself is something that I deeply do respect. And then we got into your life story and we found out your stuff about your family. We found out stuff about your friends and your upbringing in school. We found out about the hard work you've had to do. And then we went into your romantic relationships. And then we capped off the night with questions directly from the people that have supported you through and through. And they got nothing but love for you. So here's the thing. The last event of the evening is the final 10 questions. And these 10 questions are an homage to the originator of this show. This show is actually something from TV. And I know your ass probably don't know it. It's fine. It's fine. It's called Inside the Actor's Studio. It's okay. It's a boomer show. It was, even when I was a kid, it was barely fucking recognizable. But what this guy did, James Lipton, he was a host there for 23 years. And he would bring on actors and actresses and entertainers of the sort. And for a couple hours, he would sit there with them in front of a crowd of students of this university. And he would talk about their personal lives as well as their discography of all the stuff they've been a part of. And so the way he ended that show every time for 23 fucking years, my man, for 23 years, he ended the show the same, very, very same way. And he would ask them all the same 10 questions. And so that is an homage that I do for him. I've ended this show. You're number 34, my man, and I'm so blessed to have you. I'm honestly, bottom of my heart, I love you a ton. And so I'm going to ask you these very same 10 questions, okay?
Yep.
There are only 2 rules when we do this. The first rule is I will not react to anything you say. I'm going to be completely silent. No smiling, no noise, whatever. I want to hear only you.
Yeah.
And the second rule is that I do require an answer, and that answer must be kept within one thought process. So it's not just one sentence or one word, but just one thought, all right? It could be either, but
Okay.
just one thought, all right? Is that good with you? Can you handle those rules? Are they good?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
All right.
easy.
And then from there, I'll say my final piece, you'll say your final piece, and we'll go on our separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
You ready, Jordy?
I'm ready.
All right. Question 1. What is your favorite word?
Dipshit.
What is your least favorite word?
Uh, Grouse.
What turns you on?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, gosh. Moaning?
What turns you off?
Sahara Desert.
What sound or noise do you love?
Headshot in Call of Duty.
What sound or
Or my
noise?
car.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Beer bottles clacking against each other.
What is your favorite curse word?
Stupid cunt.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Butcher.
What profession would you not like to do?
Oh, there's nothing coming to my head here. There's literally nothing. What would I not want to do? Car salesman.
And lastly, Jordy, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That midget standing behind them naked.
Cheers. All right, cheers, my man. You are how, my man. Mr. Jordyx3, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jordyx3. Jordy, holy shit, dude. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for hanging out, dude. You fucking killed it. You killed it. Don't have. Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
You a clown, man. Yeah. See, the thing is this, all right, and this is where I get wholesome for a second, all right, for a second. And I've never drank with any other guest. This is 34 episodes. You're the first one I've drank with here on the studio. And here's the thing, all right. Again, you've been doing this much longer than I. All right. You've been doing this much longer than I. You've gone through a lot of stuff in your life, a lot of life experiences in which I look at and I deeply, deeply respect the way you've handled it, the way you've grown, the way you've continued forward with it. So let me make this very clear. I understand that you and I, in our channels, we are not the same. All right. We are not. And I'm not going to act that way. But as human to human, as man to man, all right, this is beyond Twitch. I don't give a fuck about Twitch. This is not about the platform. This is about the individual at large. I will say this. You have been one of the biggest surprises I've ever had on this show. I truly did not expect to like you this much. I truly did not expect to enjoy my time. And it's more shame on me for ever, having judged it preconceived at that time. And so let me make it clear with this. You're very talented. You are in what you do. And whether that be gameplay, whether that be in fostering a community, whether that be in attracting Miss Mij, you're very talented. And I want to be able to empower you and reinforce those things. I understand that sometimes this journey can be lonely. This journey can be filled with self-doubt and like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? But dude, based off of what your community has been saying all night, I see their shit. I have Chatterino open, all right? I'm Trainwreck's nightmare. I got Chatterino open. But like but what I've seen through you and your ability to be very candid and very honest and really truly care about these people and want to do something on here that it may be done by many, but you do it better than most. And so I want to say, my man, like, I'm rooting for you wherever you go in life. I'm excited. I hope that I could be, you could be a part of mine and vice versa. But Jordy, it's been an absolute pleasure and it's been an absolute honor to spend this time and platform with you. Honestly. But my big ass mouth has been talking way too much. You get the final words before we go our separate ways. Is there anything else you want to say to your community and everyone else that's watching tonight?
Can you get a tryhard7 in the chat?
There we go. Tryhards. Get some fucking water before you go live, my man. And they openly do it. They've done the same. I'm getting spammed with this shit. All right, Mr. Jordy, you have a good night. All right, you're going live in a couple, right? Or what's your plan?
I'm gonna take a piss. Probably make some. I don't even know, some hash browns in my air fryer, and then I'll be live.
Ooh, you got there. You go. All right, well, you take care, my man. I'll hit you in the DMs in a little bit. All right.
All right, sweet as.
All right, thanks for being here, my man.
Right.
Thanks so much
See
for
you
your
later.
time. See ya.
How you going?
Jeez Louise, guys. Holy cow. Mij. You got a winner. And vice versa, all right? Don't think I'm selling yourself short too, all right? You're an absolute cash.